Last time on Square Roots, we bro down with the Steele family, adopt a dog, and try out a fun new explosive accessory. Later, we disturb a nest of ghost people when we set off some fireworks. I guess next time we should get them some noise-canceling headphones and a weighted blanket first. Shut up! I'm allowed to make anxiety jokes. I have anxiety!
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zandt.
Heyo!
Hey, I'd like to put
It's
my
me,
hat in the
Matthew
ring
Van
to be
Zandt.
the
Look at me.
Speaker
Hey,
of the house.
what's
I figure
up?
this is the place to do it.
Bonk, bonk, bonk. Honk, air horn.
Can I count on your votes?
Also joined by, let's see, Johnny.
Uncut
Matthew
Brandon.
Yeah, he
Oh yeah,
wanted
we're talking
uncut
about
gems.
Johnny's foreskin.
Yeah.
Johnny Meat Hoodie Brandon.
Johnny,
Turtle.
And Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa, and if I had a foreskin, I probably would do that turtle bit with it.
To who? Who would that be for?
Just myself.
The Turtle Club bit, like the Master of Disguise.
Yeah, but I'd be
Yeah.
like, turtle, 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 you know? Like,
Listeners, Vanessa, as she was saying turtle, was making a jerk-off motion. As
But it
if she
wouldn't
was
be
pulling
sexual.
the foreskin down from her imaginary penis.
yeah, it would just be a piece of puppetry.
Oh, man. Well, this is a podcast where we play and talk about classic RPGs, one chunker at a time.
As you can tell
This
from our
week-
intro.
Yeah, this is like part 28 of Fallout New Vegas, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've only played Fallout New Vegas on this show. Mm-hmm. Fallout New Vegas
Fallout.
podcast. Adventures
Fallout
in the
never
Wasteland.
changes.
War has changed.
Yeah, this week we're doing some DLC and some regular stuff. It's a real mishmash.
DLC.
I got so
John,
far
what are you
ahead,
doing?
and now I'm finally like
Solid
caught up,
snake
and
voice.
I hate it.
Oh.
I'm really mad about it.
You hate being caught up.
Yeah, because now I got to play a bunch more. I mean, I
But-
like it when I start playing it. It's a fun game.
Yeah, it's just getting over that hump of turning on the Xbox.
These other DLCs go pretty quick, I think.
Good.
I think Lonesome Road does anyway.
yeah.
Anyways, before we get into New Vegas chat, does anybody have any hot gaming news?
I think it's been pretty
The
light
president
week.
of Unity resigned after that.
John Riccatello.
After that abysmal announcement that they were going to start. What was it? They were going to start charging per download or something?
Yes.
After a certain download threshold, yes.
Yes.
Which I believe they've walked back, and the president of the company has now resigned. That's pretty hilarious.
But how can you know how far consumers will go unless you float those ideas out there?
Yeah, he's just pushing the boundaries.
Is it not the responsibility of every capitalist to squeeze as many dimes as you can out of your consumer base?
Yes.
Good point.
He has a fiduciary duty to do it. So we can't blame him or any other oligarch for...
I'm glad that we're having this conversation because now Vanessa can be the one blamed for defending capitalists on the show like I was a couple weeks ago.
Oh, I have
Corpo
some real
I
issues.
did not
shills.
even endorse. I said I understood.
Corpo shill.
I have some real hot gaming news that'll be of interest to our listeners. I know how much of our listener base loves it when I talk about PUBG.
They love it.
PUBG has a new cross promotion going on Started on PC this week and should hit the Xbox version next week, or I should say the console version next week. KFC is now part of the PUBG universe. That's
Finally,
right.
how many chicken dinners have there been
Remember,
without KFC?
wasn't that the game where they did release like a KFC bucket emote? And then everyone was like, no, don't do that.
Well, they're doing it now. PUBG has teamed up with KFC, and now all of the gas stations, it may just be on Erangel, or maybe it's on the maps, I don't know. But all of the gas stations have been replaced with KFCs, where you can now go in and order a bucket of chicken, as well as a drink and some fries. And the bucket of chicken acts as a first aid kit, and the fries act as bandages, and the drinks act as, well, as drinks. And there are
like energy drinks?
Special little... There are special new animations of your character eating chicken and French fries.
Tell me more about French fries acting as bandages.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, why do buckets of chicken heal you? But, you know, I think it's fucking hilarious.
Quick, Vanessa, that man's bleeding to death. Pass me those fries.
Yeah. A waffle fry, maybe.
What about for bullet holes? You just like
Oh, I wasn't thinking about it that way.
yeah.
I'm bleeding out. Pass me a breast.
What?
A chicken breast?
Chicken breast.
Oh.
Yeah.
Come
wrong
on,
with you?
John.
Get your head out of the gutter.
I thought you were a professional comedian.
You started talking about my penis, so.
I started talking about your penis.
Yeah.
And to be fair, you were the one who brought it up in the first place.
Well, I was telling a personal story in a private chat.
Your personal story about how you're not circumcised.
Also, you were talking into the wind because you sent those messages at like 3 a.m. when we were off.
Yeah, that's the
You
downside
also
of
started your story with "Once upon my foreskin." Which is a weird way to do it.
Yeah.
Then you said that you were a real man because you were intact. And
I would never say that.
Then you picketed my bedroom here in the Square Roots house. It was like an anti-circumcision picket line. That was very
Do you
awkward.
get those anti-circumcision like Pokemon stickers in bathrooms of bars in the United States, or is that a Canada thing?
what?
It's
Not that
something
I've seen.
I've seen, but I have not been in every bar bathroom in the United States, so it's
You
hard
might
to
have been
say.
in a few though. There's
Yeah,
like
Matt
a
just
stop
pisses
the
against the
chop
wall.
sort of, and you know.
Listen, Vanessa, there is nothing finer in this life than peeing outside.
Well, I wouldn't know, would I?
Why not? Who's going to stop you?
Biology.
You could,
You can pee outside.
Yeah, I've seen
It's
girls do it.
messy.
It's not my fault. Wait, not that you were blaming me for
All
it.
we're saying is that it's possible, not that it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any more hot gaming news?
Yeah.
Vanessa does.
October's PlayStation games is pretty good.
Ooh, what are they?
They are pretty
Disco
good.
Everyone's
Elysium,
surprised.
Director's Cut.
That's a good game.
House of Ashes, right?
Yeah, House of Ashes.
That's fun. I like that one.
What's the main one? It's something we've already played, I think.
Slut
is
Zone.
something we've played. What was it? You would think that I would know because this is my hot gaming news.
Yeah, this is awful.
All the hot gaming news this
Isn't it
week.
Gotham Knights?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's Gotham
Oh.
Knights. That's what I was
Nice.
thinking of. Not something we've played. Something that's on fucking Game Pass.
Also,
I keep-
Alien Isolation is coming out, which is very scary.
Yeah, I think I already own that one.
I keep wait, so Alien Isolation's like on the PlayStation Extra or
Yeah.
oh, okay.
And Outlast.
I keep
Outlast two.
starting playing Arkham Knight, the tank one. The
3.
little tank Batmobile.
I like that game.
I like it, but I'm like, oh, I should probably go back and finish City because I still never finished City. But then I'm like, I don't
Arkham
like
City rocks.
I don't know,
I
but
don't like
I think
any of those games.
I think that'd be
I
fun to
like
do
them, except for the
next
tank
year
one.
on the Is This Even an RPG?
Oh.
Year.
I don't
Asylum's
wanna do
pretty
that.
good.
I feel like the tank one
did
is
like
probably the
Asylum.
most RPG out of all of
But
them.
I hate driving that stupid car around.
I like
Ugh.
it.
I know that I know that people really like it, but I really hate the combat in those games. Like it just,
I love it.
Bounce off of it.
No,
it
me
is
too.
not for me.
That's
The free
okay.
flow system is so good and so user friendly.
So boring.
All the hot gaming news this week or today is dominated by, I guess there was an Amazon Prime Day sale, and I did
Yeah.
not
2 days
buy
of
anything.
Prime
But I also
activity.
I'm not going to buy any. I spent too much money on video games this year, so I'm stopping. I'm not going to spend any more money on
Oh,
video
he's
games.
cutting himself off.
Hero Quest
rest of the
was Hero Quest, the old board game, Hasbro board game that's like a Dungeons and Dragons.
I own
I
it.
don't think it's Dungeons and Dragons
I had it.
No, it's its own
branded, but I loved that was my favorite board game as a kid. I loved it, and I don't have it anymore. And now it's $100, and I was very tempted, but I didn't buy it.
I have it. We should play it sometime.
How are we gonna do that?
Oh, you just come over.
Yeah, okay. Next time I'm in Vancouver, I'll ring you up.
Thanks. With Paul, your coworker.
It would be sad if Paul went to Vancouver without Matt.
Yeah.
I mean, he does have a family that he goes on vacations with. He'd probably rather spend that time with his girlfriend.
They'd
than
understand.
pseudo stepdaughter.
Any other hot gaming news?
I want to talk about breakups more.
If we're all done, if we're all done with hot gaming news, I'm gonna level up because I have a level up. I have a couple things actually.
Wow.
We talked about Gotham Knights a little bit. I tried to play that game and it's garbo.
Ooh.
Wow.
It sucks bad.
Yeah, I mean that's what everybody said. I thought when they were first talking about it, I was kind of excited because I love Nightwing and Batgirl and Robin. They're my favorites. I like them more than Batman. I'm going to be honest with you.
Of course, Batman's boring and terrible.
yeah,
yes.
agreed.
And also they said that they were changing up the combat, which to me, and again, I know I'm not trying to whatever, but to me, I was like, ooh, cool. Maybe I'll be able to get into this one. And the reviews were so bad.
It's not a fun game. I love the combat of those Rocksteady games, and this one, like, I expected it to be at least an offshoot of that, where there was like a dedicated dodge/counter button. There, you would be able to kind of freely. It's not that. And
What is it? Describe it.
It's you target an enemy and like you press X to attack.
Oh no.
And B to dodge. And the dodging, like, there's not even really you would expect in those games you'd have great dodge counters, right? You could dodge an attack and then flip behind him and pile driver or something.
Yeah.
Not even a lot of that in those, or at least if there is, I haven't unlocked it, but the fact that you have to unlock it also sucks. The progression in it is weird. Like, you have to get so much experience by helping crime victims in Gotham to unlock the next story piece, and that's boring. And
Yeah, that
like
sounds-
I don't want to have to stop 10 carjackings to unlock the next story mission in my playthrough. Like, that sucks. And I thought the acting of, like, the voice acting was really flat. It has a great opening with Batman fighting Ra's al Ghul, which is cool, but all of the voice acting of the protagonists, at least in the few hours that I played, felt super flat and kind of boring.
Did you feel that Nightwing's behind was also super flat?
Nightwing was probably the best of the bunch in terms of acting. The guy that's voicing the Red Hood, get it like foreskin? The guy that's voicing the Red Hood sucks. It's like they picked that guy out of a Dollar Tree.
Matthew has a real hate on for the Red Hood. Like, that's one of the things that really fucking most sticks in my craw about Batman over the last 20 years. I see John laughing.
Nobody likes Jason.
They make him act like such a whiny, angry edgelord in the game too. Is how they make his character, where he's like, I don't need to work with you idiots. I'm gonna go solve this crime on my own. And they're like, no, wait, we're doing this together. And he's
That's
like,
how he
okay.
is.
I thought that, for years they said they'd never bring back Jason Todd. Jason Todd and Bucky were the two that they were like, never going to happen. And when they brought Bucky back, it was really fucking good. And when they brought Jason Todd back, it was the worst thing that had ever happened. And first of all, I don't believe this is canon at this point, but when he was originally brought back from the dead, that happened because an angry Superboy who was trapped out of space and time punched reality so hard that some things just changed. And one of them was that Jason Todd was alive again. Dumbest thing that's ever happened. And then on top of that, it really aggravates me because it was such a clear and obvious, easy thing to do with that character, which is to make him a fucking villain. Oh, a person that was trained by Batman and now wants to kill Batman? That seems like it would be a pretty ripe for lots and lots of stories. And instead, they were like, no, we'll give him the Joker's old code name from before he was the Joker, which is also a retcon thing, but still, the man who killed him, and we'll make him a terrible anti-hero who's a whiny piece of shit edgelord. Worst fucking thing DC's ever done.
It is. It's very annoying in the game. Also, hearing Matt describe his hate for the Red Hood really makes me want to make you play Arkham Knight, where the Red Hood is the primary antagonist.
No, it's not, is it? It's Gotham Knight.
No, but like Gotham Knight is the Red Hood.
Oh, is he?
Is that a spoiler?
Yeah, I never got that far into the game. That's interesting. Like I like that. That is what they should have. I wouldn't have named him Gotham Knight. That's awful, but
that's fucking terrible.
That is what they should have done with that character. He should have some sort of fucking bird of prey that eats fucking bats, and he's a villain. The end. It's cut and dry. It's easy. You can get years of fucking stories out of it.
Yeah, but yeah. So that game sucks. But I also did something cool. I went to an advanced screening. Ooh, how cool is that? An advanced screening.
Whoa.
I went to an advanced screening of a new horror movie called Dark Harvest.
Do they have those in Nebraska?
Which is
movie theaters?
They do. Dark Harvest, yeah. I saw a movie called Dark Harvest, and it's based on a novel that came out in like 2006. It was
Harvester?
A real like big hit
Harvester?
horror novel. I wish, man. I wish it was Dark Harvester. But no, it's based on a novel. The novel's about a little country hamlet that every year they have a ritual where boys of a certain age must on All Hallows Eve find and kill a monster that comes out of their cornfields every year before it reaches their church, and the boy that kills it gets to get his own car, and he gets permission to leave the village, which most people are not allowed to do. So that's kind of the setup. It takes place in 1963 in a small town, which is kind of an interesting setting. The main character is like a greaser kid whose brother won it the year before, killed this monster who they call Sawtooth Jack. And
Can I guess the twist? Can I guess the twist?
Hello, listeners. At this point in the show, we go into heavy spoilers for the film Dark Harvest. So if you plan on watching it as part of your Halloween festivities, I would suggest fast-forwarding in a few minutes until after my level up, because we get into it. Thank you for listening, and happy Halloween. Goodbye. Yes, please do.
Is the twist that the monster is just some guy?
The twist is that it's a real monster, but the monster is created from the corpse of the previous year's winner.
Whoa.
So like this kid's older brother won, and his brother got a car, and he watched his brother drive off, but it turns out they stopped his brother down the highway, murdered him, and then buried him in the field at the foot of this like crucifix, and then later in the year they take him out of the grave and make him into like a scarecrow, and put a pumpkin on his head, and they stuff his body with candy, and then he turns into like a monster, and the pumpkin becomes part of his head. The reason why they fill him with candy is because the boys that they want to hunt him, they starve these teenage boys for like 3 or 4 days before Halloween, so that when they let them loose, they're like crazed animals searching for food. And they know that Sawtooth Jack's body is full of candy. So their incentive is to kill him, get a cool car and some money, and also like finally get to eat. And
Jim,
so
why would they do this?
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Because if they don't, then their town will be the victim of like crop blight and dust, turn into like a dust bowl.
Oh, it's like a Wicker Man.
Until
Yeah, I don't believe that. I think this is a Vault 11 situation where, like, the one year when they don't make a sawtooth jack, the god of the harvest will come out and be like, "Congratulations, you demonstrated your humanity by failing to make a sawtooth jack."
You know, in the movie, it's clearly like a supernatural thing, like they are like cursed inhabitants of this town. But I do think it would be just as, if not more interesting, if it was like something that they actually created, like it was just a person. But I will say I think the best thing about the movie is the creature is totally practical. Great practical effects on this like 8-foot like pumpkin headed creature who can light its head on. It looks great. It looks fantastic.
Wait, sorry. Do they kill the winner?
So the winner is the person that kills Sawtooth Jack, right?
Yeah.
And then they give the winner, who's always a teenage boy, a new Corvette and say, "Now you're free to leave." And so the kid drives down the highway, and then there's always people waiting for him to murder him.
Oh, well, that's not very nice.
No. But I will say it's one of those movies that feels like it's one of those like almost like really simple kind of morality tale films that like you can watch every year and it's still gonna like have the same, it's still gonna hit the same, you know what I mean?
Do you think the kids in the village noticed that their dads were always gone when the monster showed up, sort of like Pokeroo in the Polka Dot Door?
No, it's really interesting because like Sawtooth Jack starts in the fields outside of town, but then
The
makes
Village,
his way,
the movie by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah. But like this monster makes his way actually into the town every year. So like a lot of the town has actually seen him in real life, like seen him murder teens who are, so like they know he's real. And so it's and like it's
how many kids are they having at this point?
There's a lot of kids actually. Okay. Well, they got to have kids or else they're going to be like blighted, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it a little misogynistic to just have the boys hunt Sawtooth Jack?
Or misogynistic?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, one of the supporting
Vanessa gave you an eye roll.
One of the supporting characters in the movie is a girl, and when she's out with the main character, a lot of the other characters are like, "Why is there a girl out here?" And she's like, "Screw you!" And she's awesome.
Wow. Well, that solves misogyny, doesn't it?
That's how we solve sexism. But no, it's a really good movie. It's directed by David Slade, who I know some of our listeners, I know because we just talked about it in our Facebook group, but directed another horror movie that I really like called 30 Days of Night, which is, it's pretty okay.
That's a perfect description.
Yeah,
you're going to have to Downtown Brown all those Sawtooth Jack spoilers, by the way.
I'll believe it. Yeah, I will say it's a good movie. If you can, I think it's going to be on Shudder at the end of the month. It's one of those real short this movie's been on the shelf for like 2 years because of COVID. I don't think they knew what to do with it, so they're like, "Hey, Alamo, you can do a one-night advance screening, and then in 2 weeks it's going to be on Shudder." But I would say check it out when it's on Shudder if you have a subscription. I think it's great. I think it's one of those like it could be one of those perennial Halloween movies. So check it out. That's how I leveled up. Johnny, how did you level up? Besides cleaning your foreskin.
Jim!
Jesus.
Come on! I'm uncomfortable with the running gag of today's episode.
Well, so who says he cleans it? Maybe he likes to be a goopy boy.
Don't use
Matt's
gag
like,
when
shut
you're
up,
talking
Jim.
about
He didn't
foreskin.
say he cleaned it.
I did
myself
actually.
out.
That was like the whole.
I know. That was the whole impetus of the story, right?
Yeah. Anyway, but Downtown Brown that part out. That is a personal detail. I don't want shared. So I have been playing racing games. I was excited for the new Forza Motorsport, which came out on Game Pass this week. I wanted to try that out. I played it for like an hour, It starts off very track heavy, and I don't know. I find like racing on like official professional racing tracks can get a little samey and boring. But it was fun doing it with my steering wheel, which works well with that game. And then I was going to play it again last night because I finished Fallout New Vegas's chunker. And then it didn't work. Xbox was like, the app was broken, or it just kept like crashing the game over and over and logging me out. It was just, that
Weird.
Game Pass PC app sucks.
I feel like the service on like consoles has gotten worse too.
You think
Like
so?
it feels
Really?
a lot more. It feels a lot more buggy recently and laggy, which kind of sucks.
The PC one's better than it used to be, but it's still like the fact that I couldn't play a Game Pass game that I had installed on my computer and, you know, pay $20 a month to play.
Yeah, that's awful.
That's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to like go through all these steps on the website of fixing it. Eventually it did work, but that
That's
was
a
frustrating.
bummer.
Yeah. But it worked in time for me to record this podcast, so I only have played it that once. But I've been playing all sorts of games. I released my review of Mercenaries 2 on a new channel. So if you go
Oh, I gotta
look
check
up
that out.
Mercenaries 1 on the new channel. If you go on YouTube, look up Bears and Games Neo. That is a reincarnation of my old Bears and Games channel that I lost access to because I forgot to port the security phone number to my new phone back in 2016.
You know what, John? I'm gonna do it right now.
Okay, don't watch the video right now.
Yeah,
It's 20
don't do
minutes
it
long.
now. We're recording.
I'm
a
gonna
podcast.
subscribe to you.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
you should definitely subscribe. So all those reviews I've been posting lately, I have moved those all over to the new channel, so they're on there, and I hope you all like it. I put a lot of work into it.
Is your logo here the same logo that you had on your other channel?
Yes.
It's a cute logo.
Yeah. My late friend designed that one for me.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. And so I've got that going. I've written a script and captured all the footage for a new video. I just have to record the voiceover and edit. It's comparing and contrasting the influences of do you know the artist Tom of Finland? He does those black and white
I do.
pencil drawings.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Of beefcakes with the game Final Fight, because there's a lot of crossover, and I'm sort of exploring why there's crossover. And I'm not getting into like the Capcom artist Akuman. I watched a video of his. He might be gay, but I don't want to get into that because he's not out. So I don't want to go into like speculating on someone's sexuality. That is bad. A lot of YouTubers do it. But
John, would there ever be opportunity for one or many of us to collaborate with you on content for your channel? I think that'd be fun.
That would be very fun. So the comparing and contrasting, it got me into a lot of deep rabbit holes. Of course, I was sending these all into the group chat at like 3 a.m., as I want to do because I am on night shift. Vanessa, I don't think Vanessa even commented on Streets of Fire, the outfit that Willem Dafoe wore.
Oh, I remember like waking up and seeing that through my blurry eyes and being like, I don't know what that is. And I think my brain just dismissed it as
He's wearing this
something
like
I couldn't process.
crazy leather outfit, which is so basically Tom of Finland. Very like for a lot of his early work is basically fan art for the movie The Wild One, which stars Marlon Brando, 1950s seminal, like rebel without a cause biker gang movie, and he looks like the leather scene so much took its inspiration from that, not just that movie, but bike culture of that time, but that movie also, because Brando was like, that was him at his fittest, wearing these crazy tight jeans and just like pouting in leather with like his little Muir cap and skin tight jeans and everything. And so
since I know you love to speculate about people's sexuality, you must know that Brando himself was not necessarily the straightest of men.
I have nothing to say on that one. He had hands like a sailor. John Goodman as Marlon Brando was pretty fun in that one Celebrity Jeopardy
I love John
episode.
Goodman.
Yeah. Anyway, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot about the origins of the leather community. I learned a lot about the influences of Final Fight, because Streets of Fire, kind of a bomb. Even though it's a Jim Steinman musical that I think we should do a watch through for Square Roots, because it's a Jim Steinman musical set in the 1950s. So it's a biker gang style. So it uses a lot of basically outfits out of stuff like the Wild Ones. And that was such a huge hit in Japan that it basically influenced Double Dragon and Final Fight. Like, you'll see outfits exactly from that movie in those kind of brawler, urban brawler games of the 80s. It's really cool. Yeah.
That is cool.
And the Warriors, too. That was a huge influence on kind of the Renegade and Double Dragon and stuff, too. I don't know if you've seen the Warriors.
Not for a long time, but yes, I have seen it.
Anyway, so I've been doing a lot of research, and that's been really fun. I got into like a super hyper mood, and I didn't spend that much money. I did get a lamp in the shape of a head, and I put a mask on it and I moved an IKEA shelf out to the landing. It looks really cool now. It's like lighting up my stairs. Have you seen those IKEA head-shaped lamps? They're pretty cool.
No,
head-shaped?
I sent a video to Discord. I'll have to send one. Oh,
I don't go on the Discord.
I
don't really either.
You don't go on the Discord, but I will send it right now so you all can see it.
Can I do a quick plug?
Yeah.
Really quick. I meant to do this in my level up. So when this podcast releases, I guested on another show. The show is called Are You My Mother? It's a podcast about like moms in pop culture, and I guessed it on the Peggy Hill episode.
Oh, so because of your famous tweet.
Yeah, because of my famous Peggy Hill tweet, and the fact that I'm a huge King of the Hill fan. So I would say check that out. The show is part of Glitterjaw, which is a queer podcast collective. So check out the other shows on the network. It was a super fun episode. I really enjoyed talking about King of the Hill, and since you guys have never really watched it, I think John's seen some of it.
I've watched almost all 3 seasons. Yeah.
Oh well, you guys don't like it.
I liked King of the Hill. It's just not streaming anywhere that I can watch it.
Oh, it's on Hulu here.
It's fine.
I don't like it.
But yeah, Vanessa doesn't like it.
She hasn't seen it, and she thinks it's like.
She thinks it's like a Reagan show.
Yeah, it's the opposite of that. Yeah, if you go open up your group chat, you'll see my lamp.
Oh, great.
Yeah. I hope you
Wait, what'd you say it was shaped like?
A human head.
Oh, I don't like that.
Well,
you don't love lamp?
I
not
love
head-shaped lamps. That'd be scary.
It's not.
I like that lamp. It's like a luchador mask.
Yeah, I put the luchador mask on. Well, it's a slick it up mask, but same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I put it onto a human head shaped lamp. I think it looks fun.
I don't think I would like it if it didn't have the mask on it. I think it would unsettle me.
I can send you that. Yeah, I do have one of it without. It looks very creepy. It looks like something from Beyond the Black Rainbow.
That's what I was just going to say. I couldn't remember that director's name, but it's like something that would be in the background.
I can't remember his last name.
Cosmatos?
Yeah.
Panos Cosmatos, yeah.
Well, I did send a video. Anyway, Matthew. I don't want you to be last.
Hello.
Or sleepy. A little sleepy, buddy. There. Now there should be a video in your group chat of the head. Matthew, how did you level up?
Let me think. What have I done? Well, I watched
in there.
I watched that new One Piece show with my son.
Oh, is it good?
It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It's cheesy. It looks very, visually, it doesn't look great.
It looks super bright. Like, the colors are really popping.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I will say the cast is great. All the main cast are fantastic. Overall, I really enjoyed it. Like, it doesn't look great. Like, the special effects don't look great, but, and it's a pretty, the story, I read some One Piece back when it first started getting published in America, and I enjoyed it. It's, it's a shonen manga, anime. And that's usually pretty, it doesn't hew too far from that genre. It's more of a comedy, which is fun. The show did not bother much with which I appreciate. The show did not bother much with long, drawn-out fights, which definitely is a part of One Piece and a part of a lot of this, shonen fighting genre. And I don't really need that. But overall, I really liked it. The story's good. It's got a good story. It's just about, found family and friends, and mostly anchored by the main character, Monkey D. Luffy. I said it backwards. Monkey D. Luffy being just a fucking really good person with a really good heart, and doing whatever he has to and whatever he can for his friends. And when we first started watching it, I was kind of like, this is okay, I guess. And by the end, I was pretty sold on it. I really did enjoy the first season quite a bit. And I am looking forward to the second season whenever that comes out. It was good. So if you've got any interest in that, check it out. It's hard to recommend if you're not already kind of interested in it, to be honest with you. I don't think it's going to sell itself to anybody. But
I feel like that show had so much hype before it came out, though.
One Piece is a massively popular IP.
Like the cast, I saw them being interviewed everywhere. I hadn't seen hype like that for a Netflix show since Stranger Things.
And the cast was easily the best part. I think all of the main cast really kills it. The kids that play the main cast, the story is kind of starts off with just the one kid, Luffy, and then he starts making friends, basically, and convincing them to join his crew and his pirate crew. He's one of those pirates, like one of those Pirates of the Caribbean pirates, where he doesn't seem to understand what a pirate is. He calls himself a pirate, but the whole time you want to be like, hey, buddy, nah, that's not what you're doing here. I don't know what you are. Pirate's not the word. Anyway. It's enjoyable. I liked it. And also, I watched that My Adventures with Superman show that is on Cartoon Network. It's on Cartoon Network and HBO, or HBO Max, or Max, whatever. And I was surprised how good it was. I guess you guys probably aren't very familiar with Ultimate Spider-Man, huh?
Nah.
No. Well, Ultimate Spider-Man was part of a kind of a relaunch of the Marvel Comics main properties in the early 2000s, where they had this Ultimate line, because Marvel, as you may know, has never rebooted their universe. Unlike DC, who kind of constantly reboots and rejiggers everything and restarts things, Marvel's never done that. They've come close. They've done soft reboots. They've never done a real reboot. And one of the things that people think turns people away from things like that, like Marvel Comics, is the years and years and years of continuity. So Marvel decided to do this Ultimate line in the early 2000s that were reboots of their major properties. Spider-Man, the Avengers, that was called the Ultimates, not the Avengers, and the X-Men. And they're all kind of hit or miss.
One where Wanda and her brother are
Yeah, that was later.
Wait.
Yeah,
like
it's
supernatural fan fiction.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not quite stated outright, but it's pretty heavily implied, and it's gross. So it definitely had big problems. But one of the most consistent parts of that thing was Ultimate Spider-Man, where writer Brian Michael Bendis and artist Mark Bagley, I don't know, did reboot Spider-Man as a kid in high school, and it really freed them up to look at what worked and what didn't work, and what was good and what was outdated with a lot of these characters, and let them modernize and change things just enough to make them kind of interesting again. Ultimate Spider-Man.
See, in like a modern high school, or like, did they have cell phones?
Well,
Is this in the
it came out in
2020s?
2000, so by the time it finished publishing in like
okay. I thought it was like a new one.
early 2010s, I think they had cell phones. Maybe early on, not quite. But anyway, Ultimate Spider-Man was fantastic, and My Adventures with Superman made me think of that Ultimate Spider-Man series more than anything, because it does not try to stick too closely to continuity. It starts off Superman in his very, very early days, just introducing himself to Metropolis. He, Lois Lane, and Jimmy Olsen are interns at the Daily Planet, and it manages to take a lot of the villains and concepts and tie them all together. Not all of them, but tie a lot of it together in smart ways that make sense, that further the story, instead of, you know how comic books are, particularly comic book characters like Superman, who had so many writers over the years and who had so many weird and random concepts introduced that often were completely at odds with each other. Some of it's just kind of, well, anyway, it modernizes and refreshes a lot of that, and it's really fun. And it tries to be half superhero show, but also half just like fun buddy show, and also kind of romantic comedy between Lois and Clark. And you get a lot of human perspectives with Jimmy and Lois. They feel like real main characters of the show and not just sidekicks to Superman. You know, it focuses their stories a lot. And it was really fun. It's fun. It's heartwarming. It's got great animation. It does a lot of smart things. Like, you know, one of the first things Superman has to deal with in that first season is dealing with Task Force X, the Suicide Squad, because, you know, a godlike alien shows up in Metropolis, and of course the government wants to shut him down as quickly as possible. They tie a lot of Superman's villains like Livewire and the Parasite together with each other and with Task Force X, and just in a lot of smart ways that make sense and are modernized and don't feel all kind of janky and weird like Superman and most other superheroes have felt like in the past. It was fantastic. And it was a good quick watch too. 10 episodes, half hour apiece, probably closer to 25 minutes apiece. I really liked it, and it has a lot of heart. Like, you really grow to really like not just Clark Kent and Superman, but Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen. It was really...
Is this animated?
Yeah, it is an animated show. It's got a very anime style, art style to it. But I think it works really well. In fact, in one of the very first episodes, when one of the first time Supermans, I guess you could say, he gets a like Sailor Moon style magical girl transformation scene with his costume, which is really hilarious. It was a lot of fun. I watched it today, and I was shocked how much I really enjoyed. I mean, I had already watched the first couple episodes. I knew I liked it. But by the end of the first season, I was really sold and really disappointed I didn't have more to watch, because it really worked for me. And they introduced interesting concepts like Mr. Mitzelplix. I'm probably saying that wrong. But like he's not a tiny man in a little bowler hat. He's kind of more of a looks more like an interdimensional kind of elf, kind of, and it makes more sense, and it, you know.
Wait, was Mr. Mixelplix in a movie or something recently?
No.
In one of the Superman animated films, maybe?
Maybe.
I feel like I was exposed to Mr. Mixelplix recently.
I like Mr.
That's why I say
Mixelplix.
that.
I've always liked that idea.
Terrible, fun character.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
fun. But see, it's one of those, like, and he still is terrible and fun, but he's less, like, ridiculous looking, and, you know, he's less based in the 1940s or whatever, and more modernized, and just a lot of little stuff like that. And they're not changing Superman's origins or anything, but they're definitely changing him as a character and how he reacts to things. like learning about his past and stuff like that. He's pretty unaware at the beginning of the series, and they also don't fuck around too much with things like his secret identity and stuff that you, as a modern viewer, would be like, give me a fucking break. These people have cell phones. Yes, My Adventures with Superman, way better than I expected it to be. Absolute fantastic fun time. If you like a Superman, check that show out. It's a delight, and it shocked me. It was a lot of fun. So that's how I leveled up. What about you, Vanessa?
I love stand-up comedy. And stand-up comedy, sort of, well,
That's not how the
we
song
have a
goes.
mixed relationship, to be honest. But I did go to a stand-up comedy show. I saw a gentleman named Russell Howard. You might know him from the Russell Howard Hour. I think he's probably been on Mock the Week. And, man, what else have we seen him on? I know he was on something.
Shut up. You know he was on Taskmaster. Oh, my God.
He was on Taskmaster, of course. Taskmaster Season 6. Oh, what a delight to see one of my special Taskmaster boys in person. We probably got tickets that were a little too close to the stage. The way it was set up is there were like 2 seats forming the front row that was in front of us, and then a proper row, and we were in that.
Imagine how unsettling it would be for him to look into the crowd, and the first thing he sees is Vanessa just weeping in joy at seeing a Taskmaster person.
Just crying.
Just openly weeping.
Yeah, just yelling, do a task! Do a task! It was a good show. His stuff is very political on his television series, but he didn't do a lot of political stuff, I think, because he
Oh, no? What
only
was his
knows...
take on the Israel crisis?
Nope.
This was before then. Thank you very much.
Downtown Brown. Downtown Brown, that whole thing.
Yes.
I think he didn't know how well UK politics would play with an American crowd. But there were a lot of British people there, too. So that was a fun experience. I'm dabbling in stand-up. Sometimes I've gone and I've been like, this is not for me. Sometimes I've gone and I've really enjoyed myself. So far, the through line seems to be if someone was on Taskmaster, I think it's great. It's probably just a coincidence.
Yeah. Did you ask him if Alex Horn went to was that his parents' villa in Spain?
Oh, was it? That's right. That was like your ultimate question. I promised to get you
and you
an
were in the
answer.
same room as him.
Oh, like
Should have
feet
shouted it
away.
during a set. Hey, what happened with that villa?
He did get a great heckle where he was talking about, he said like, oh, I realized recently that I was old. You know, it was a couple years ago. I was in Spain, and then this woman in the same row as I was yelled, how old were you? He's like, excuse me. And
I have a question for the group. How do you guys feel about when stand-up comedians do crowd work?
I don't tend to like it. I tend to
Yeah.
prefer written material, but that's kind of the type of stand-up I like too. I like something that has a through theme and is like a show rather than
Yeah.
someone telling jokes and working the crowd. However, I will say that he was very, very good at it. Really good at like choosing when to engage and when to sort of ignore. And I don't live in a big heckler town, so the audiences tend to be pretty good and respectful. So it didn't make me uncomfortable. What I do get is horrible secondhand embarrassment. So if I ever feel like
Me too.
the
That's why I can't go
performer-
to improv shows.
yeah, if I feel like the performer isn't in control, like it's a really bad time for me. But
Yeah.
because he's been doing this forever and it was in a big theater, like people were excited to be there seeing him, so it wasn't like a get off the stage kind of thing. I didn't ever feel like he had lost control of the audience, so I felt fine.
That makes sense.
Great question.
I
though.
crowd work seems to be mostly just be about, oh, this person had the audacity to speak. Let's publicly humiliate them.
Yeah, no, and he
and-
wasn't totally like that either. He was like, he kept calling her like, oh, you know, he'd go back to it occasionally when he was telling like an anecdote. He'd throw in a detail and like look in her direction and be like, and I was 42 when this happened, you know. So
that's a good way to do it. I think the only time like I've ever seen it and enjoyed it, I saw this was like before The Hangover came out. I saw Zach Galifianakis do stand up in Kansas, and he did a joke about George W. Bush, and someone in the crowd yelled something at him, and he's like, "Sir, can you come up here for a minute?" He invited him on stage and got a chair and sat him down, just asked him his political opinions about George W. Bush so that he had to so that he was articulating them, and then he's like, "Okay, you can leave now." And I thought that was really funny.
Yeah. It's such a vulnerable thing to do because it's just you and your own writing. And unless you're doing like a character, which some people do, and of course everyone's playing a version of themselves, a persona, but it can be a bit much. They're playing Persona. Yeah, he came on stage, he played Persona for 90 minutes, and then he left.
Yeah. The first one, the
that's
PS2 remake?
That's so relatable to sit down and play a Persona for 90
I was
minutes.
going crazy. I was like, I play this! Russell, I played
He turned it to easy just like I do.
Yeah, story mode. That's Adachi. He's the bad guy. Yeah, so that was fun. And in digital media news, it's finally happened. We've been waiting for it. Johnny's been praying on it, and we made it come true. Moonlighting is finally back. And it's on Hulu.
So is this a show that I should watch?
No.
Because
Also,
I've seen so many headlines. It's like it feels like the United States collectively let out a sigh when they found out that they could watch Moonlighting again. And I was like, I've never seen this. Should I watch it?
Basically, Bruce Willis plays the worst person in the world.
Yes. Bruce Willis plays.
Okay, all right, I'm there. I'm with you.
And so Maddie Hayes was a very rich model, but she decided to quit modeling at her peak because she didn't want to start getting worse and worse roles as she got older.
Played by Sybil Shepherd.
Yes. Yeah.
Love Sybil Shepherd.
She then she wakes up to her staff quitting because their paychecks are bouncing. She hadn't. I think she had someone run away with her money somehow, a manager or something. And one of the few things she had left that she was going to liquidate was the Blue Moon Detective Agency, run by David Addison, played by Bruce Willis. But then she realizes maybe there's a spark between them, and they make a good detective pair.
Yeah, that's why this was the beginning of will they, won't they comedy sitcom tension, right? This was this was the first version of it.
It's like a mystery.
Why I want to watch
I don't
it.
know if that's true.
But
I think it is, actually.
It has some real 80s-ness to it that aged poorly, but it's still, if you like... I don't remember that, but probably. But if you go... Lots of Bruce Willis doing his jazzman persona.
Yeah.
I like that though.
Yeah, if you like, and I love Sybil Shepherd
being a chauvinist, but with the 80s feminist thing of having a woman being like, "You're a chauvinist," but
she throws a drink into his face
but you're
once.
Still cute.
Yeah, she slaps him all the time.
But I'm still sleeping with you. You think I'm less than you?
She doesn't. She doesn't sleep with him.
Not for
will they, won't they?
Yeah, at least not for the first season. And it starts getting more experimental. It didn't last that long because it started getting really weird in later seasons.
Yeah.
One episode where they did a full production of... It wasn't Hamlet, was it? It was definitely a Shakespeare.
I think it was Taming of the Shrew.
Right.
That? What?
Yeah, and was that the black and white episode, or was that a different episode?
I think that was a different one. And they break the fourth wall all the time. Occasionally they'll just be in a scene... and they'll walk off the set, but the camera will keep following them, and they'll be
what?
talking about what they're doing.
It's a weird show.
Sometimes they do big song and dance numbers.
Yes.
That sounds wild.
Yeah.
It's not a bad show.
I'm kind of one to watch it.
And that
the
theme,
costumes are fantastic. I have
Oh,
to
yeah.
say.
That's
It's like-
that's one thing I've seen in all the stills that they've released in these news stories is like those. They look great,
yeah.
I did a
mean,
bit in my
and the
latest.
sets look really good too.
I actually used a clip of it in my latest review, the Mercenaries 1 review on my YouTube channel, because I was talking about how Bloom was emulating like soft focus lenses. And then I used a shot of Sybil Shepherd that is just so soft, as well as Elizabeth Taylor in her White Diamonds commercial, where she's just like eyes on a white blur face.
I mean, I will say that both Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis were probably at the peak of their traditional attractiveness when this show was being filmed.
Yeah, for sure.
they
Oh, this
both
was like,
look amazing.
did Bruce Willis have hair?
Yeah,
a
it
little
was
bit.
pre-Die Hard, so
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he had hair in the first Die
Like
Hard.
he has
Yeah, he
stubble.
did.
Just like, yeah.
He
a
had
little
like
bit
the
of
Homer
stubble.
Simpson kind of thing
Yeah.
going on.
and of course they famously hate each other.
Homer Simpson
Yes.
and Bruce Willis.
Yep.
No. So, well, both the character Maddie Hayes and David Addison hate each other, but also Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis really hated each other.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like a real.
saw
she's like, "You're a piece
no,
of
no, no,
shit,"
no. I
and
saw
he's
a
like,
news article
"Ugh."
today that said that I think maybe the creator or like the producer of Moonlighting was able to let Bruce Willis know that Moonlighting was finally streaming before he sunk so far into dementia that he can't speak anymore. But anyway, you guys
Oh, that's
keep talking
nice.
shit about him. Keep talking shit about that dying man. It's fun.
What?
Do you want to also talk about Palestine? What's the difference at this?
Everybody dies, man.
Everybody
It
dies.
It doesn't forgive you being a jerk for your entire
He was
life.
a kind of a jackass.
Maybe there's
I
a
mean,
moratorium period when,
Yeah, I guess he is actively dying, so
Yeah, fine.
all right.
You can
we take back
downtown
that he's a
brown that
piece
if you
of shit.
want, Jim. Jim,
I'm
did
not
you
downtown brown.
Did
in
you
that.
see the head, the IKEA head in the group chat?
Oh my God.
Did you see the amazing moonlighting stills I sent to the group chat?
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Oh, I don't like that,
I'd
John.
like to start talking
Yeah, I
about
said
the
it's-
quest log now.
It looks
It's-
like a crash
Why
test
is
dummies
it-
head
why
made
is
into a
it
lamp.
You can go
It's
on about
unsettling.
Superman for hours.
Are you fucking
I
kidding
wanna
me?
talk about
I
my
had the
show.
shortest level up by any stretch of the fucking
He did.
imagination.
No way!
I always
No
do.
way.
You did.
Johnny's list of
mine was the
45
longest.
things to talk about. Jim just talking about how his day was and every movie he's ever seen. Vanessa talking about, I don't know, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't listen to Vanessa.
Russell Howard.
Oh, he's right fit. Anyway, Moonlighting on Hulu. The big hurdle to getting it streaming was the music rights because they integrate so many great 80s hits in and out of their musical dream sequences. So
Right.
I feel like my DVD version had like covers and like
Ew.
filler music for those.
yeah, they say that they have cleared all of the music, more or less. So
Because it's been 40
Check it
years
out.
and nobody gives a shit about that music anymore. And so,
Oh, they got that Disney money now
yeah.
too. With
Is it Disney?
Hulu.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right, Hulu. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it was ABC. It was an ABC show the whole time, so they always had.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying
I'm-
that those
Sticky
artists that
wasn't
we're
as
holding out for the most part now are probably like, yes, please somebody pay us for this music because nobody else is.
they probably don't even own it anymore. It's like the
That's-
recording studios
That's
that
an
own it.
excellent
At this
Yeah.
point.
point. Yes, you're right.
All right, let's.
No, hang on. Vanessa has more level ups to do, I think.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. And that's how I leveled up.
No, okay.
We gonna finish Dead Money
Also,
now?
I was not complaining about your level up, Vanessa, in regards to I want to talk about the quest log now. I just want to be very clear on that. I just don't want to talk about this headlamp anymore. It's fine. It's neat. This is not a running conversation we need to have. There's nothing else to be said.
I just
Matt
wanted you to
doesn't
look at
love
it.
lamp. He just wants you to look at it, Matt.
I did look
you don't
at
have
it.
To touch it.
How many fucking times
You
do I have
don't
to look at
touch
it?
He just wants you to look at it. He just wants you to see how he's put the hood over it.
Yeah, he put some fucking underwear on its face. It's great.
Do you ever
It's a
take the mask?
I put a mask on a head.
It's more like overwear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever pull the mask down and then up again and down and up again and go turtle,
Oh my
turtle,
God.
turtle?
Moving on
Wish
to
I
the
was
quest
dead.
log, Vanessa.
Somebody call the police.
Yeah.
I think I need a wellness check.
Busy looking at stills from moonlighting now. Okay, I'm putting down my phone. Ooh, she looks great there. You go, Sybil Shepherd.
I'm annoyed because now I
Okay.
kind of want to watch fucking stupid moonlighting.
Whoa, Sybil Shepherd does look great.
We're all gonna watch moonlighting.
Night.
Oh man, yeah.
Some fly by day.
I thought it only
Oh, he
lasted,
does
like,
have
2
Die Hard
seasons.
hair.
I mean, he always did. He's never had a
I
full
think it
head
was
of hair.
5 seasons.
Was it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I always thought it lasted only 2 seasons, but I don't know where I got that impression from. So
I
If
think
you
so too. but I
if
feel
you
like it
showed
was
me
actually
that
fine.
first still out of context, I would think that Bruce Willis was some kind of serial killer. Look at his face in that still. Terrifying.
The open, sorry, because I took some clips from Moonlighting, I watched the first 2 episodes this past weekend, and the opening of the first episode is this murder scene that takes like 10 minutes. It's so
It's amazing.
It's so
Yeah,
slow.
the pacing is really slow. And the guy, like, it's framed by these people jogging, and this guy puts, like, this tape into his Walkman, like, really
in a threatening
deliberately.
manner.
Yeah. And
He
then
has
the
a mohawk,
music's-
Vanessa.
he has
Have
a
you seen
mohawk.
that
He's a
man?
punk. And
He's
then
a
his
punk.
punk music starts, and it's just like 80s electronica music. It's like,
That's amazing. I love it whenever there's punk music in a movie. It's just like sounds that adults can't hear. Like,
yeah.
So Vanessa,
New bonus idea. Let's all watch Moonlighting.
hey, I'm up for it. How about we move on to the quest log?
The quest log. Last time, you remember, we set off the grand opening of the Sierra Madre, and now it's finally time for her to open her doors and us to step into that long-forgotten Temple of Avarice, the Sierra Madre Casino.
we did it, guys.
Her dusty parlor.
Ooh. And we go right to the vault. DLC over.
And everything inside is fine. We step in the door, and we see our 3 companions that we gathered last week, and they're having a little nap time. They're just lying on the floor, and you're surrounded by clouds of gas. Yep, once again, we've been gassed. That Elijah, he gets us every time. Then we come
How
to...
did he beat us
and-
here and set up gas traps?
Well, he later claims that it was just the casino's defense systems.
Yeah.
And that the casino placed everybody in the appropriate
Yeah.
places.
He says the casino has moved your companions to wherever it made the most sense for them to be, which makes sense in the case of 2 of them. I don't know
kitchen?
how it determined that
Yeah,
because
because he's endlessly hungry, right?
Oh, I guess that's true.
Yeah. Dog
I didn't
is
think of that.
has insatiable hunger.
Why would it know that?
Because it's state of the art, Matt. That's why there are holograms that can shoot you with their foreheads.
Oh, I love those. Are so creepy.
They are creepy.
I was not expecting the Starlet one to do that too.
Me either. And she's the one who's like most pronounced, has the head stuff going
Yep.
on, which is really fun to watch.
Wow, well, Vanessa has abandoned the podcast right at the beginning of the quest log, which she is supposed to be cowboying.
Hi.
Holy shit.
I think her Taco Bell arrived.
No,
Ooh, that sounds
there's
good.
a fly in the house, and it landed on the couch, and then the cat got on the couch next to me and tried to kill it. So now the fly
Shouldn't you
is...
encourage that?
Shoo
Well, the
fly,
fly is now behind
don't
the
bother
cat,
me. Shoo
further
fly.
down the couch, but the cat is pointed towards me, so I'm trying to get her to turn around and see the fly,
Yeah,
so
okay.
then she can kill
Bother
it.
me. Shoo
Now
fly.
Quirky
she's
murders
turned around, but
flies.
I'm unclear
me.
as to whether or not she can see the fly. So
So this casino.
we'll see how that fly. What happens to that fly? I'll keep you updated.
Yeah,
as that
yeah. Please
podcast
keep me
continues.
posted. But that casino, very full of those speakers and those security holograms. Those speakers got pretty annoying, especially at the end.
Yeah, for sure.
I blew up a lot of times. So I guess you can do whichever one you want first. You could either go to the theater.
Oh yeah.
So you end up in you're in the lobby.
Can you?
And
Because I did it the same as Vanessa's notes here. Does it not push you down this path?
Let's see.
It's
I did not.
Dog,
I did not do
Dean.
I did.
Yeah,
theater.
it does because it only unlocks certain pieces of
Yeah.
it at a time, right?
Well, then
so you have to do the
that's
dog
not-
thing
nope.
first.
I did dog last.
Oh, interesting. Well, I will say I wanted to mention that. So I'm playing this with the power of Andraste, and I decided to see
Like a
what would
cheater?
happen if my collar actually exploded, and so I let one of the speakers here kill me, and it set off my collar, but did not kill me. But the game kind of still thinks that I'm dead.
Yeah.
So it stopped playing every speaker and radio in the entire casino. Like they don't even turn on ever at all.
I watched myself die to speaker nonsense so fucking many times. Holy shit. I think it's a good idea, but I definitely, as Johnny said, by the end of this chunker, I was
There's
ready
an
to
overabundance.
scream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always kind of funny when you get to where like your head's gonna explode and you just run around wildly hoping you'll get past the radius of it. And
Yeah, and you
you'll
never
just die
do.
anyway. Yeah.
So once we're in the casino, Elijah tells us you have to wake up the casino. It's been sleeping, so head into the main casino area and see what you can do.
Yeah, I did do that first for sure.
Yeah.
have
Once you
to do
pop
that
in there,
first.
there's some holographic security guards. You can find terminals and reprogram their patrol routes so you can sneak around them.
Eventually, I
Or-
just had to run past one.
Yeah, or you can run past them, or you can find their holographic emitters and shoot them to destroy the holograms.
I think I only found 3 holographic emitters total in this casino.
Wow.
I found the
They're
first,
hard to spot.
Yeah, I
think.
found the first one right in this room, the casino floor. It was up in the rafters, and it's glowing, so that was easy. But I never found the second one, and that was frustrating. Is there one for every single hologram?
I believe so.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. I'm bad at these spot the object games.
You can
Yeah,
also
me too.
find a terminal and hack it and kind of reroute them to another spot. So I didn't really bother. I destroyed a few, but like once they're out of your way, who cares?
Yeah. The only part where that like didn't work for me is like towards the end of this, where it feels like there's 5 of them in really tight routes,
Yes.
like right above the vault. That part sucked.
No, you could still reroute
I did
those guys actually.
It didn't feel like it moved them far enough for me to find an area where I could
You
go.
just have to wait
fly
a
I found
minute
there-
because
We'll
they
get there.
walk to where
Yeah.
they have to go,
Yeah.
which is weird. How would a holographic emitter
But they don't just
like
they don't just like
3 rooms
reproject
over?
somewhere else.
But they do have those. There are emitters in the rafters of that area too.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes they're on the rafters, and sometimes they're just like around a corner where you can't. You basically can't get to it without rerouting them and then getting to it.
This,
So
this first area here though is where I found my automatic rifle, and it's changed my entire playthrough of this game. Because if you upgrade it, it just shoots so many bullets so fast.
Yeah, I picked that up.
and they're high caliber rounds, and oh my gosh, it's like an insane DPS. And I have weapons in my inventory that are specifically from DLCs to be like overpowered, and this automatic rifle is still the most powerful one in my inventory.
But-
I didn't find enough bullets for it, so for me, I relied very heavily on the police pistol this entire
That's a good
DLC. And
oh no,
I mean, once you find some hollow points, it will one-shot stuff. Plus, I've got a lot of perks and stuff that work to my advantage with VATS. So for the ghost guys, it was very easy to not necessarily one-shot them all, but 1 or 2 shots to the head would blow their heads off, and then they won't get back up.
that's cool.
Were you finding this ammo or were you crafting it?
I was finding it. I actually don't have. I didn't have. Maybe I didn't have the right.
You have to have
stuff.
repair, or is that guns?
So I leveled up a
remember
few
which
times
ones.
over the course of this. My guns was already at 100. My sneak is at 90, and with that assassin suit, it's at 100. And a couple
the
other
problem with
things.
that-
So I did start really beefing up science, medicine, repair here, and I also took that. What's the perk? Fast learner or something, where you get extra points every time you level up. A few times. So, because I think you can take it 3 times. So I was able to beef those stats up pretty high, and I still just didn't have. I think I had the skill, but I didn't have the right stuff to craft bullets. I don't know what I needed. Cases and something. I don't know. I got tired of fucking with it. I
feel like the crafting, like in this DLC, it wanted you to pick up everything. Because like everything that you can find goes into crafting something that you probably need, depending on how you're playing.
I did that.
So like it wants you to pick up everything.
I did that all throughout the opening section of this not this area, but what we did last week. And I still never had the right stuff. And finally, it was here in the Sierra Madre that I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm almost at my weight limit. I'm carrying all of this junk. I can't use any of it for anything useful. And I just dumped it all. Fuck it.
Whoa.
I have to go back to the exit of the vault where you get inside the Sierra Madre Casino, because I just had to dump like 300 pounds, or well, no, 150 pounds of stuff so I can walk.
Yeah. Yes. When it reloads your fucking inventory, it's crazy.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So here, there's a few ways you can go, I guess. Like, I did climb on the rafters to jump into the casino cashier's area.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, me too.
Then there's one guy in a hallway that you can reroute. That I found pretty nerve-wracking. It reminds me a lot of the game. There's a game called Siren Blood Curse. I don't know if
That game's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Oh man.
I don't know what you're talking about. Is it a casino game?
No, but just
No.
like the same kind of stealth horror.
It's a survival horror game.
Oh, I see.
And yeah, it's very stealth
on
oriented.
the PS2, yeah, and it's oh man, it's so
I only played the
difficult.
PS3 remake of the PS2 one.
I think Blood Curse is the remake, right?
Yeah, that's the only one I
Yeah.
played. It's good. So I went upstairs first, and yeah, rerouted that guy, and there wasn't a lot. You have to get around him. I had a hard time getting around him. I did find the hollow emitter. I think that was one of the first hollow emitters I found in that hallway. I was very pleased with myself, and blowing up all the radios.
I preferred the hollow stuff to the ghost things that were outside because they were so tanky and
for
annoying.
sure, yeah.
Even with like sneaking up on almost all of them and blowing their heads off, like I still would run into packs where it would just get very frustrating. And here, I really prefer this. Like you can't even fucking fight these things, and I liked that. Like it forces you to do something else instead of just stand there and shoot at things. Because I find even though I like the VAT system, I like the VAT system because it shortcuts the combat that I just don't care for it. I just don't think it's good.
So how did you get past there? Like, so to turn on the casino, there's a power switch behind this one guard I could never make move, and he's the one I had to just run past in the end because I just got sick of it.
You can reroute him. You reroute him.
Oh, I guess I never found the terminal that controls that guy.
I think it's right on
Also,
the bar.
his little
maybe not.
emitter is behind him in that little nook where the maintenance closet is.
Oh,
Like if you go in and turn around, it's on the floor there.
Ah.
All right, so
Okay, so we unlock the electrical door or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. What happens
Vanessa.
next?
Then we turn on the main power, and the casino is ready to receive guests.
yay!
And all the mean holograms turn into nice croupier holograms, and you can
Yay.
gamble.
Anybody do this?
Did you do any of these gambling? I didn't
Not a
do it
bit.
at
I don't give
all.
a shit.
At all.
It's not like I
did a
don't like
little
mini
bit.
games, but I don't like gambling in real life. I don't care to do it in video games anymore then.
I like playing blackjack, but I still always lose.
Yeah, I do think that in New Vegas, your luck stat impacts your success at gambling.
Oh. I'm good at gambling. Oh, yeah. I was going to say about, speaking of stats, for that automatic rifle, to get it to aim properly, you have to have a strength of 8 or above.
Oh.
Whoa.
Else you just get really terrible, like 24% chance of that's targeting limbs.
I do not have a high
It
strength.
still
gosh.
works. Yeah, Vanessa, too. She's not... I mean, I don't want to be mean about Vanessa 1, but she's not that strong.
Vanessa
you know?
3
Not that
is
strong.
hella smart, and that has really paid off for me in this game.
Yeah, intelligence is a great stat to have because you get more skill points per
And
level. with
Vanessa
higher
4 should be a
intelligence.
power lifter.
And it, I think it helps with your speech, which is the funnest thing to do, as we have discussed.
So, now the dog. So getting into dog's in the kitchen, but you can't go. At least for me, I couldn't go into the main entrance because it was locked. So I had to go in through like a side entrance.
Well, there's
to get
two
the
ways
key.
in. You can't really get in through the lobby. That you can get. There's this weird thing where you can get real close to the lobby. There's a door that's locked,
And
but
hear
you
him
can
talk.
hear him talking, which was fun.
Yeah.
But you do have to kind of go through the casino proper and into the back rooms and circle
that's
through.
right. Yeah.
But once you get to
When he's talking to himself,
It's fun.
I love that the sentences would continue, but switch voices, but the sentence would continue at where it left off in a
Yeah.
really well-written way.
It was cool.
it was very interesting.
It was on a really short loop though.
Yes.
Like I felt like there were,
like 2 minutes.
repeated like. Oh,
I
yeah,
don't think
and the
it's 2
time
minutes.
it takes
It's
you
5 lines.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
Oh,
like,
okay.
and like the time it took me to find these valves without having him kill himself. Like, I did this. This is where I died the most.
Oh,
Actually,
really?
Because I kept alerting him, and I didn't know where these stupid gas
They're
valves were.
tough to spot. I could always see 2
They
of
are.
them, and then the last one is actually like in the entry area, and I had just missed it.
Wait, but you don't have to turn off all the valves before you talk to him. You can just tell him not to kill himself.
No, but if you turn off all the valves, you can alert him, and if he kills himself, it won't kill you, right?
Yeah.
Oh. But we talked it out, right? Like,
I died once
Of
where I
course, that's what we'd all do.
I didn't realize there were multiple
Yeah.
valves, so I turned one off and then tried to talk to him. And even with all my great speech, I couldn't convince him not to blow us both up, and was
Oh, no.
very annoyed.
oh. But once you turned off all the valves, were you able to?
Yes, in
Weird.
fact, I saved all of the companions in this.
I saved him but I'm pretty sure I didn't turn off. I think there's a valve in the freezer, right? There's definitely one in the
One by the entrance,
kitchen
one in the
and-
kitchen, and one in the freezer. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think I did the freezer one. I just talked to him and was like, "Hey, buddy, let's although I did blow up the first couple of times cuz if you enter the kitchen and don't talk to him immediately, he blows himself up in like 20 seconds.
I was able to run through once by the door. I was able to run through and knock him out, and then talk to him. And
Oh, interesting.
And
Okay.
combine. What you do is you combine dog and God, and then at that point they don't really even remember who you are or where they are or what's
what they're
going
doing,
on.
yeah.
But they do become a complete person again.
Or you can like choose one personality, right, to dominate the other, but then they are kind of like they can help.
But
you
then
out
they
in the
die,
casino.
right?
I don't know. That seemed to be an option and it said like, well, you can if you merge the personalities, we won't be able to help you for the rest of the chunker.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know
But-
how it was going to help because I did merge them and would never do anything else.
I don't-
It's the right thing to do.
I don't know that
I did
you
merge them,
in this
yeah.
chunker. I mean, John, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they don't ever follow you around again, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
So how
I don't
would
know
he
what
help
would
you?
happen if you. I don't know. He just says that at one point. He's like, "Well, I won't be able to help you if you merge because I'll forget who I am." But yeah, I talked him into merging, and that was I liked that. I thought that was a nice resolution.
Yeah. And then when you merge him, he doesn't remember who you are, but he feels a sense of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
And he's super nice now. He's erudite and calm. He's everything I always knew God could be if I just changed him.
If you just merged him with a dog.
If God
Isn't that
was
the
one
ultimate
of
dream?
us,
Like, to merge the
super
personality of a human
mutant
man
guy.
with the loyalty and kindness of a dog, and then you get Channing Tatum in that movie that I've never seen.
I
think
wish
it's
Channing
called
Tatum
Dog.
had a body like that.
It's called
Isn't that
Jupiter
movie called
Ascending.
Dog?
No, it's called Jupiter Ascending.
But he has a movie called Dog where he's like a guy that's with a dog.
What?
Sure.
Yeah, he has
sounds-
a movie where he's escorting a military dog and he learns to bond with the dog, and the movie is called Dog.
I remember seeing posters for that and thinking it looked really stupid.
It's way stupid.
No, I'm thinking of a movie called Jupiter Ascending starring Mila Kunis where he plays a dog alien.
I wanted that movie
and
to
she
be good
marries
so
him.
bad, and it was so.
It was okay.
I've never seen that.
I liked-
never
Not
seen that
worth the
one.
watch.
I liked that one villain guy who was like
Yeah.
super femme.
What's
and
his
being
name?
Like,
Oh.
Something Redfield.
Wasn't it Eddie
Eddie
Redmayne?
Redmayne.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
Like
He was really good at that.
I have seen that movie.
I think you have.
I can
'Cause I
picture
feel like
every part
you
of
liked
it.
him.
I've
You
never
liked
seen
him in
it.
it.
It's not good.
It wasn't that bad. I thought it was fine. I like the Wachowskis.
I like the Wachowskis.
Me too.
I'll go to
Yeah.
bat for Speed Racer any day of the fucking week. That movie was not good.
Speed Racer rocks.
Anyway, Vanessa,
Yes.
tell us about the Dean quest.
Dean, 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 Dean.
Where's
Dean,
Dean?
Dean?
This one, I feel like this one required some investigative work to really understand like
your name's not
the
Vanessa.
impact of what was happening.
Jim's
You're
allowed
right.
to participate in the podcast.
I asked a question and then he butted in.
Well,
Dean-
Vanessa. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
Dean is hanging out in the theater because that's where he hung out in life. He was a performer at the Sierra Madre Casino. We sneak into the theater. If you look at the terminal in front, it talks about how the theater has kind of two modes. It has closed mode where guards patrol it, and it has showtime mode where there are no guards and certain doors are unlocked.
And instead of holographic guards, there are holographic audience members.
Yeah, which is kind of strange, but I guess they're like there to hype up the human audience members.
This
And,
part is
thought it
hard.
said-
Yeah.
I thought it
rough.
said that the hollow audience was there for like, Jesus Christ, what's the word? I'm an idiot. Not tryouts.
Rehearsals?
Auditions. Rehearsals. Thank you so much. I am the stupidest person on earth.
Yep. So as you go through, first you walk into the theater, you find a key to the backstage area, and then you get a sort of forced cutscene where you can't draw your weapon or move around, where Dean appears, and Dean's got some things to say. I don't know if it was different for anyone else, but for me, Dean's like, hey, what's up? I hate you, and now you're going to die to these holograms.
Yeah, he's like,
What?
you thought. Yeah,
No.
he's like, you thought.
No.
He's like, you thought you were. He's like, you thought you could use me, but actually, I've been using you the whole time.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah,
that's what he
He
said
told
to
me-
me.
For me, he's like, okay, you need to get out of here because those holograms are gonna come out. So use the door on the left. And I'm like, wait, my left or your left? He's like, oh no, okay, you're right. And then he told me how to get through it. And he's like, well, we'll talk when you get.
Oh
backstage.
nope, no, what happened to me?
Nope.
Yeah,
Wow.
Wow.
What
He
did you
sick
guys
with
do?
the holograms on me.
What did you
did
guys
you do to
in the
Dean?
previous section that made him so mad?
So that's why I think I had to kill Dean and Christine, is because I bullied them into doing what they needed to do. So I told Dean I was gonna break his legs if he didn't hold those wires together, and I tricked Christine into going to the bottom floor thinking she was going to the top floor. So I think that's why they wanted to kill me.
Yeah, with
Oh.
Dean, if you're at all like mean to him in the beginning or sort of make him feel like he's not in charge, like by telling him about the bomb collars and things like that, then he will turn on you in the theater.
Interesting. Wow. I guess Matt
I guess
and I are
Vanessa
just
3
nice.
is just a real chill. Yeah, Vanessa 2 and 3 are real cool.
But knowing what Dean did, why would you want to let him live?
He did do something bad. He tells us about
Awful.
it afterwards. He's like, yeah.
He's kind of the main villain of this whole DLC in my mind. Like,
well, Elijah's pretty terrible, but
Yeah.
but you don't really know about that until after this. I mean, I guess you do find stuff that implies that maybe he was like giving drugs to.
well, yeah, you can confront him about that. You can ask him like, why were you drugging her? And it's like, of course I was drugging her.
Yeah.
He's like, I was blackmailing everyone.
I definitely
And they're
thought he
like-
was kind of scummy, but not like deserves to die scummy.
No, he's
Why?
so
He
scummy.
kept a woman drugged and
Did you find
like
that the
made her
Dean-
feel super insecure.
The
Some people
blackmail
like drugs,
tape.
Jim.
What are you supposed to do with that blackmail tape that you can find in his dressing room?
You can just talk to him about it when you confront him.
yeah,
I
you
did.
can. It's a dialogue option. Yeah. So did I.
And he put Christine in the auto dock.
Yeah.
He did. He was the one that put Christina in the auto dock.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sucks. It kind of goes against my typical playstyle to just like straight up murder someone, but he didn't give me a choice. So
Yeah,
me a
I
choice.
was like, I don't even I did a few dialogue options with him where I was like, maybe I can like, not have to murder him, but eventually I was just like, he sucks. I'm gonna kill him.
yeah. And he shoots first, so it's self-defense. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. So with me, he's like, all right, well, now I gotta make sure that you and I are gonna be in cahoots here, and I can help you in the vault. But then he doesn't help me in the vault, and did he just run away? What happened? Did he help you in the vault, Matthew?
I don't think so. Maybe he talked to me. I don't remember.
He asked me to go backstage, grab some stuff, grab something for him, if I could. Was it not his gun, but something like that, and then turn off the turn it to show mode, so that because I had to like run around to the other side, and then go up to the projector and turn the projector on, so that it went to like peaceful mode, and then then we talked, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll help you with the big score," unless I'm forgetting something. He didn't do anything. I didn't see him again at all after this. So I don't know. But I still, like, in the ending, he was alive. Like, he talks about what he does afterwards, which was a little ominous.
Yep, not for me. In my ending, it's just like, Dean's dead. Which, as we start to learn even more about him, I was not unhappy about.
Yeah, he sucks. It's kind of offensive that he lived so long as a ghoul. Like, he sucks that hard.
Mm-hmm. So I found the scene where all the guards rush in and you have to like run, but there's a couple of speakers that he warns you about. That was like the most Bioshocky, but it was really exciting. Like, I died a couple of times trying to do it, but I really like that whole bit. It worked really well.
He didn't give me any warnings.
Aww.
But he does, he says, like, yeah, once I, flip this thing, these guards are going to come in, and there's nowhere safe from them except backstage, but you'll never get back there, and so you'll
would he
run
tell
to the
you
exit
that?
and panic. Yeah, and then your dialogue options could be like, so as long as I don't run for the exit, I'll be fine. And he's like,
Yeah.
So that's Dean, alive or undead.
Super dead.
Our final companion we need to find is Christine, and she's been taken...
I'm sorry, did we explain what his plan was?
No, I guess not. So his plan was to first introduce Vera Keys, is that her name?
That's right, yeah.
To Sinclair.
Alicia
get
Keys.
her to seduce him, and then use her to rob the Sierra Madre on opening night. So they were in cahoots to do this plan, but it got canceled when atomic bombs fell on everything. However, Vera, it seems, was addicted to Med-X, and so Dean was kind of using her by her addiction, by supplying her with Med-X to keep her under his control. And at the medical clinic, we found some tapes of him, like, bringing her there and insisting that she get certain treatment on, like, her vocal cords because the Med-X was messing them up.
Yeah, and you learn that that's because Sinclair had put a voice lock on the vault that only responded to Vera's voice.
Yeah.
Weird decision. Real weird decision.
Well, like, it's kind of romantic in a way because he kind of built that all for her. So he never really intended anyone but her to be able to access his fortune, you know? I thought that was
Yeah.
romantic.
She can help herself to that gold.
Yeah. But not if that bastard Dean is with her.
And he also, once you get in there, does kind of say, like, I built this place to protect you from the coming war. You'll live out your days in this vault. Which is
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a weird situation.
He was aware
But she was
that
also
this-
dying, right?
Was she?
Yeah, Vera
Yes.
was terminally ill.
Didn't he
The
put an
reason
auto dock in
that's-
there, though, or something?
Yes, and the auto doc can't cure her, and the reason that she was taking all that Med-X was to, like, numb the pain as she was dying.
Yeah.
Which also kind of recontextualizes Dean's treatment of Vera, because he didn't just have her, he wasn't just hooking her on drugs, she needed them to survive.
Yeah.
But like when you talk to him about it, you're like, you kept her addicted to Med-X, and he's like, Med-X, alcohol, whatever. He's like, whatever I could get her hooked on, I was gonna get her hooked on it.
I mean, I'm just saying he's not the most reliable narrator.
But why would he tell you that he was worse than he was?
Yeah,
I
that's
guess
a
that's
first-hand account.
Vanessa, are they going to drop your groceries off at 11 o'clock at night?
Yeah, because...
Seems weird.
Well, the first order that we put in wasn't delivered. It's the first time that's happened. And then we selected redelivery.
The
And
grocery stores aren't open this late at night.
yeah, I don't know where they're getting the groceries from and why it's taking so long. Because they started shopping at like 8 o'clock. So I think they must have done multiple deliveries or something.
You.
I don't
Your
think
order is fucked.
It's not.
Maybe don't open your door.
I'll open my door as soon as they've left.
It's gonna be Sawtooth Jack.
I was kind of worried about like the dasher that we had to report for, not dasher, delivery person we had to report for not bringing the groceries would like seek revenge and come to the house. But
You know what? Amanda and I had to actually report an Uber Eats driver like before we moved because one of them to deliver our food drove all the way up into her yard and like parked parallel to her porch. And then a guy jumped out, basically threw the food, and then jumped in and they like peeled out in the front yard.
Oh
and
my
drove
god!
off.
Like over her lawn?
Yeah.
That's insane.
It was wild.
Yeah, I was nervous about it. Then I realized that the dasher doesn't know where I live because if they did, they would have brought the groceries to my house.
Downtown Brown that.
Downtown Brown.
Downtown Brown.
So we're heading up to the suites to find Sweet Christine. Mm-hmm. The suites, for the most part, are just more hideout from the holograms. The difference is up here, the holograms are of Vera. And when I first saw the Vera hologram, I'm like, oh, I've seen those before. Those are friendly. They are
Yes,
not.
me too. No,
Yeah,
they are
no.
not.
She zaps you
You
with her
can-
whole head.
You can program them to be friendly.
I
Yes.
did, but
Not
it
her,
like
right?
wore
Terminal.
off. Some of them
It did not wear off for me. That's interesting.
because I came back later to loot for some more supplies, and they just started attack. Maybe you can only reprogram some of them because there's like 3.
I don't know. I did
But
find
they're,
one.
So what is her deal? Like, what is she talking about? She keeps talking about Sinclair. What exactly happened with her? That's kind of the thing I'm most fuzzy about. she wasn't in on it. It seemed like she actually really did love Sinclair.
She was in on it, and she knew that she was using him.
She knew what?
She knew she was using him, so she might have some like regrets about that.
Because like when you encounter her like hologram ghost or whatever, she's like kind of crying out for him and like apologizing and saying that she loves him.
Yeah, I mean, but he also made those programs, so it's, I don't know. I don't understand.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like, it could be that she was repentant. She felt bad. Like, that could be an echo of her being stuck in, because remember, she died stuck in the hotel. So it could be kind of replaying her last days before she overdosed.
Yeah.
So you have to go find your way through some ruined hotel rooms to get to where Christine was.
So confusing. I had so much trouble finding Christine. Like, I feel like the mission indicators are broken in this DLC.
Well, I mean, they're not.
Last episode.
They're not They're showing you where she is. They're not showing you the path through what is a maze.
Yeah, so it's like as the crow flies rather than
if the game was pointing you to each door you needed to pass through, it would defeat the purpose of
that would be like BioShock.
That would be like BioShock.
Yeah, BioShock tells you like every corner that you need to turn.
That's true. And same with Dead Space, where it gives you that line.
Dead Space does that in the best way, where they like make your character pulses the floor.
Yeah,
that's like one of the most satisfying animations is that happening. Love it.
So you make your way through this maze. Eventually, you find Christine, and I guess so. Jim, what happened when you encountered her?
When I encountered her, she was like Jigsaw from Saw. Like, she's like, because there was a lot of traps around where she was. And she's like, I put out all these traps because I just really want to kill you. Like, I hate you. And I was like, wait, what? Maybe we can get past this. Like, who we really should be mad at is Elijah. Don't be mad at me. And she's like, no, you and Elijah are the same. And there was just no talking her out of it. And I just had to, shoot her in the head with my automatic rifle and blow her head off.
Well, for Matthew and I, we get in there and she's all right. She's like, hey, It's good to see you. I can talk again. It hurts a little bit, but it seems like my voice is repairing itself. But she doesn't have much. She has some memories, right? She knows that's not her voice. And she's like, I guess she does have memories because she's like, I want to kill Father Elijah, or I want you to kill Father Elijah. Either way, he needs to end up dead. She'd been chasing him around the wasteland. So I don't know if she was Brotherhood of Steel.
That's what
she
think.
Was. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize I guess he was exiled. So I don't know why the Brotherhood of Steel sent an assassin to kill him.
I'm not 100% clear on this either. It felt like a lot of it was going to be addressed in like a different part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some of it ties together with the Lonesome Road DLC. I think that kind of weaves into the other DLCs.
Yeah, she talks about the big empty a lot.
Yes. She does talk about the big empty.
Yeah, Vanessa's about to come back. She can probably give some clarity on that. Yeah. But Lonesome Road is kind of the DLC that has like the through line to all the other stuff and the main game. So this one is kind of like a little more ancillary.
Yeah, I just need to put my perishables away, then I'll come back. Don't talk about the big finale without me.
I won't. So there's... you find an auto dock there, and she's like, yeah, it works. I guess that it was meant to keep Vera alive, although she was supposed to go down to the vault. And I don't know why she didn't go down to the vault, because she was like, it was built for her, but she had the elevator down there, but I feel like she was trapped in this one room. She was trapped in this penthouse instead, and you find her body, and she'd killed herself with an overdose.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah. Christine sort of talks you through it. You can sort of try to talk her out of wanting to kill Father Elijah, but I was like, I don't know, he sucks. You're right. Let's work together to have him murdified. Matthew, you told me at the beginning of this DLC, he put a bomb collar on your throat, he's going to die. So I assume you did not try to talk her out of killing Father Elijah.
Oh, no. I mean, I did talk her out of killing Father Elijah because I told her, I am going to kill Father Elijah. And I was like, you stay up here where it's safe. In fact, I believe that the dialogue led me to telling her, like, you don't even stay here because he's going to come through this room where the elevator is. You're going to go somewhere else and you're not even going to tell me where it is because I don't want to know, just in case things go bad.
Yeah.
But you go hide, basically. I'm going to go down there and I'm going to fucking kill this guy.
He sucks. I told her the same thing. And
I guess I don't know why you would let this person live. Like, maybe if it's possible, which it seems like it was, but I didn't do it. Like, I think you can probably just trap him down there. That seemed like an option. And
well,
that
we'll talk about the finale.
That would be fine. Yeah, but we don't want to get in the finale. But
yeah, let's talk about
anyway.
the platforming section. You know what these Bethesda games do poorly? I know this isn't Obsidian, but it's a Bethesda engine.
I don't think it's a platforming section.
Well, there's some
Kind
jumping
of.
and stuff.
Every time you do these jumps, you fail.
I do a lot.
Fail.
You have to hit that button like way earlier than you think. It's fucking annoying. It's bad.
I definitely did fall into like endless darkness a couple of times. You do fall, you hit the floor eventually and super die. Is there a jetpack in Starfield?
Yeah. Well, it's a jump pack.
It's a boost pack, yeah.
I haven't got that.
You can
far
do
yet.
like a couple.
How do you get that?
You have to do like 2 or 3 of the main line quests, and you'll get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I found this section a little frustrating. The main part I found difficult was that last section where there's 3 holograms and you can change their routes, but I found that eventually I did find out that you can blow up the emitters for 2 of them, and that makes it way easier. But still,
It's
that
annoying
last
because
one.
it's annoying because there are radios that are setting your caller off, but there's also alarms that are setting your caller off. So you can like find the radios and destroy them, but then you also have to find a computer and turn the alarms off. And this really, I mean, I died a dozen fucking times.
Yeah, I think I was somewhere around there too. Just trying to get to that little room where you can turn them off. Eventually, I stealthed my way through it. I was very proud of myself because I'm terrible at stealth. As we'll talk about in Crazy, 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 where eventually I just gave up and looked up where to find another stealth boy because I was dying so much. This whole area was interesting, and you do. Vanessa says you can find Sinclair's body. I did not. Did you find either of you find Sinclair's body?
Where was it?
Somewhere in the vault.
I don't think
I feel like I did.
Or
Did
not
he have
in the
a
pre-vault area?
Did he have a thing on him? Like, was there a thing you could pick up?
There's a note to Vera there.
I think I did get this.
Okay. Well, now we can pause and talk about other things until Vanessa gets back. Starfield. I played another couple hours of it. I like it. It feels a little bland, maybe.
Yeah, it feels. I don't know. It just doesn't have. It feels like it keeps you at a distance. You know what I mean? Like everything feels very sterile.
Mm-hmm.
It's bland, man. Like,
yeah.
Let's be real. Like Fallout, as much as I don't care for this setting, like at least it's interesting. I mean,
It's got a style to it.
It's got a style to it, and and Skyrim. I mean, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls. I mean, it feels like a diverse and interesting world, and Starfield just feels like fucking nothing. Just okay. It's like
it feels
100
like
years
a little
from now, and that's about it.
It's trying to be like too realistic to the point where it's not any fun. Like, you know what I mean? Like you want like a little magic in your sci-fi, right? Like there's a thing.
Or at least like something. It doesn't have to be magic. Like how about some alien species? How about
Yeah.
something interesting? And Starfield just doesn't have it. And it's not that it's like a bad game. It's bland.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out what I want to play next.
I'm so glad that you're still alive. I was very concerned.
There were two men
Vanessa.
too.
Uh-oh.
What?
John, you should try Lies of P. I think
So
you'd
Vanessa's
like
got
it.
a couple new boyfriends.
I can install
They're
it on
strong
my
and they can carry
PC.
bags.
Oh, it's on Game Pass PC too.
Yeah, I think so.
Lies of Who Cares?
Wow.
So where are we
They
at,
just
boys?
announced a sequel. Thank
I'm
you.
just not a Souls-like person, you know?
Me either.
What are you drinking
Yeah.
there, Jimmy?
It's Arnold Palmer. It's an Arnold Palmer. Spiked Arnold
The
Palmer.
golfer?
Aren't Arnold Palmer's non-alcoholic?
Yeah, I thought they were virgin drinks.
This one is alcoholic though. See, this is spiked on it.
But what's the point then? Isn't then it just a alcoholic drink? There must be another name for that. Long Island iced
What's-
tea.
No, an Arnold Palmer is just iced tea and lemonade.
Right.
Long Island iced
Yeah,
teas
so-
are the fucking best.
So
I've ever had
this is an Arnold Palmer with alcohol in it. I like Arnold Palmers.
So where are we at?
We're about to
Talked
talk about the
about-
finale.
Me,
We talked
just
about
an hour.
getting to the vault and how much we hated the area beforehand, with all
Yeah,
its
that part sucked.
platforming and radios and alarms and
It
so we
was
arrive at the
terrible.
vault. Yeah,
Yes, the vault. Did you find Sinclair's body?
I did not.
no, I didn't either. I don't think.
Yeah, it's sort
I
of
think I did.
near the vault. You can find a tape there. And
Oh, it's there are rafters that run beneath the platform
Uh-huh.
that the vault is sitting on. So if you jump in his notes, if you read his computer, he's like, you can find something down there. So if you go like to the left hand side, if you're facing the vault, there's a little rafter down there where his skeleton is, and he's got like a note on him.
What's the note say?
What
I
does
was a
the note
loser.
say?
I was
the
a
note
fucking
says,
loser.
"Dear Vera, I really loved you, and I know now that you didn't love me, and that you're planning to rob the vault. So I just want you to know."
That's
in the
vault.
computer. That's in the
Yeah.
computer.
I feel like that's on the computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a version of it is on the computer.
Oh yeah, he did.
Oh.
Because there's two versions. There's one that he deleted off the computer. So that
Yes,
must be
so this is the
this
one
one.
that
Yes.
he deleted. And
yeah.
it
So
I wanna
says,
see that.
so just so you know, once you go into the vault, it's going to seal forever and you're going to die in there.
Oh,
So
wow.
screw you, XOXO Sinclair.
Yeah.
I guess he decided not to go with that. But doesn't she get locked in there? Oh no, but it can open when she's rescued or something, right?
Yeah, and then the note inside the vault says, Vera, thank you so much for confessing to me that you were planning to rob the vault. I knew that
interesting.
you were going to, and I had plans to lock you in here forever. But as it is, I'm only going to lock you in here until you can be rescued for the bombs. And I've also put all the supplies you'll need to keep yourself healthy and fed and everything. Have a great time. XOXO Sinclair.
All right.
Pretty cool.
But of course, we know that she never went down there because
Why
we
did
saw
she
her
never-
body.
Why didn't
Because
she
the
go down
casino
there?
trapped her in her room. That's what happened. So when
okay.
the bombs fell, she and the security, all that stuff went off. She got stuck in her room.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that's when she wrote the word let go
Let go.
on the wall and intentionally overdosed, I think is what's indicated.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Before you can
Let go.
before you can start
Let
new, you have to let go. Is that right?
Overdose on Med-X. Let go. Let go.
All right.
You-
So let's talk about the ending, Vanessa. Oh.
yeah. So it's finally time to walk into that beautiful vault. What do we find in there?
Gold!
Gold!
All the gold in the world.
bunch of gold.
Also, money.
Oh, there's gold up in that vault.
And ammunition. I found 1,000 bullets for the police pistol.
So many bullets.
And since I
I
don't weigh
picked-
anything, I now have 1,000 bullets for my fucking police
I
pistol.
got 1 gold bar. That's because they're 35 pounds each.
Yes,
so.
I was able to carry out 2 gold bars.
Ah. Jim, how many gold bars did you carry out?
I took every single gold bar because I am unencumbered by the power of entrusting.
And I took every single gold bar because I know how to do it, because I've played this game before.
I like
There's
the
a
idea
way
of
to do
Vanessa
it?
moving 100 gold bars one fucking foot
Oh.
Yep.
She picked them all up, dropped them at the entrance.
Yep.
But how do you escape? There's so little time. How do you run to the exit?
You have to go out the door that Elijah comes through. So you have
sneak
to
past him, right?
make sure that he doesn't see you, which is very tricky because his perception is insane. But there's
Oh, wow.
a particular girder that you can hide behind, or you can hide sort of behind the generator in the middle of the floor. But the trick is that you can't run for the door until he's like at the computer. Then you break from your hiding place. You run, and by run, I mean walk incredibly slowly because you're over encumbered. And it took me several tries to do it because the timing is like razor thin. So many times I would be like one step away from walking through the door and the shield would go up in my face. But I finally managed to do it and got out before he realized that I was not inside the vault with all that sweet gold, thus negating the whole moral of this story.
Yeah, so other than the way Vanessa did it, there's multiple ways to do this, right? Like you can.
Well, let's talk about like the message we find in the vault first, because we find the
Yes,
message that
yes.
says, "Dear Vera, like staying here forever," and then Elijah calls us, and he's like, "Hi, Elijah here. I see you're in the vault. That's cool. I'm just gonna keep you in there till you like starve or whatever, and then I'll come get the stuff out of the vault." So we need to convince him to come down.
I kind of goaded him into it, being like,
I wanted to ask.
I was like, I'll have everything out of here before you get down here. And he's like, no.
I wanted to ask. There's when you get into the vault, there's a computer, and there's a message to Vera, as we discussed. And there's also like an explicit warning not to open the second message, which I think
Yes.
is for Dean.
Yeah, it
What
says,
did that say?
Yeah.
"Hey Vera, love you. I had put a trap on here. It's under my personnel files. Please don't read those because you'll trigger the trap." Any of you idiots do that?
I
yeah,
did.
just for funsies.
And was
I
it fun?
meant to, and then I didn't get around to it.
It was jarring.
Yeah,
Well,
it
what
just
is it?
ends. Vera's voice describes how you starve to death in the vault.
Yeah. So basically, you instead of like a
You don't
resolution
get to
with
read
Elijah.
the message for Dean?
No, you do.
No, it's basically
No, you do read it.
It's addressed to Dean. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's
What's it
like,
say?
I know you were conspiring against me, and you're going to die in here with all this treasure you wanted. So I hope you like that. Is that?
Yeah,
I'm
he's like, you
paraphrasing.
finally get like what you're after, but like you're gonna die in here. You're not gonna be able to enjoy it.
Vanessa, did I paraphrase it okay? Yes, I did.
All right. Well, Vanessa's
Yes.
boyfriends have murdered her. So
Sorry, I forgot my camera was off and you couldn't tell I had stepped away. I turned it off so you couldn't see me eat a banana. Am I having you guys screenshot that and put it on the internet?
Did you say turtle, turtle, turtle as you peeled down that?
Of course,
You
I always
got it.
play the turtle game with my banana.
Amazing.
do you ever dip your bananas into peanut butter? Because that's been my new favorite thing.
No, I'm not.
There's
like
a weird. Go ahead.
I haven't been a huge peanut butter person in my life, but I've been thinking
Me
about
either. I
trying to
feel
get
like I
into
only-
cashew butter.
I feel like I
love
only
peanut
eat
butter.
peanut butter during the holidays.
You guys know that peanut butter is the magic cure for hiccups, right?
Yes.
So since I learned that several years ago, I do like at least once a day, I will just go have like not even with hiccups. I'm just like, I'm hungry, but I don't want to eat yet. What's a good snack? How about a spoonful of peanut butter?
Whenever I have Nutella in the house, I end up doing that too. Like,
Yeah, I don't.
love Nutella.
I haven't. I'm not a Nutella guy. But lately, I've realized that if you just put like a little peanut butter on a banana, it's amazing.
Well, I put
amazing.
bananas and peanut butter in my smoothies when I make them, like my protein smoothies.
That sounds amazing.
And chocolate. It's got like chocolate whey powder.
The mix of the sweet and the salty is the best.
I used to put apples in mine when I would make them that way, John. Like apples and peanut butter too.
Same idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Anyway,
Vanessa,
so yeah, if you read that stuff that's addressed to Dean, you immediately get a game over narration.
I figured.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, what are the ways to? So, you read the computer. Elijah pops up on a screen and is, I don't know, what does he say? He's like, "Arr, arr, arr, I'm gonna come lock you in there until you die, and then I'll rob the vault myself."
I told him that I was going to break and smash the technology inside the vault.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I told him I was gonna fucking destroy everything. Because if you talk to him, which I assume we all did, you can really get him to open up about his plans, which are essentially to rule the desert by using the tech from this place. It's not just about the money, it's about the technology.
That's why he goes to the big MT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Now I understand why he was mentioned in that other DLC that we'll talk about next week.
I mean, they mentioned the big MT. Well, they call it the big empty, not the big MT. But they mentioned the big empty a ton here.
Yeah, essentially, Christine, because she'd been following him through the big empty, she met another courier there, which I don't remember.
So that ties into the other DLC, the
Does it?
Lonesome Road
I
DLC.
kind of the way they were talking about it made it sound like it was going to tie into the end of the game.
Yeah, that's what I thought. The divide.
Lonesome Road is kind of the end game.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I mean,
Really?
Lonesome Road's the last bit of content that was released.
Yeah.
So-
It's kind of the capper on the whole thing a little bit.
But we're
To
gonna
a
play
certain
before we
extent.
play the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can't play it afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
All right. So,
Well, I don't
what are
know
the
anything
ways
about
to
it.
what are the ways to deal with Elijah here,
Well,
You trap
there's
him.
Vanessa?
my version was to sneak out of the vault, and then I think once you leave via elevator, the whole casino kind of collapses around him.
Well, he does get. I mean, you said it yourself that with the sneaking the gold out, that if you take too long, all the entrances slam shut with holographic doors,
Yes. And
and you
turrets
do get
are
locked in that
activated.
vault.
So, what was your method, Matt, of getting out of there?
Well, I said early last episode in this chunker that I was going to murder this man, and also when I talked to Christine, she was like, "I'm going to murder that man," and I was like, "Don't you even fucking worry about it. I'm going to murder that man." So all right. So my method was I snuck out of the entrance of the vault, snuck behind some garbage, watched him walk down and into the vault, at which point he looked around all confused and was like, "What's going on?" And then I peeked around the corner and blew the fucking head off his body.
Wow.
Did the vault defenses attack him?
So it did take me a couple of tries,
Okay.
and the vault defenses, the turrets attacked me
Oh,
a couple of
interesting.
times, and I actually died a couple of times.
So
But-
many turrets. So many turrets.
Yes. But when I finally nailed it, I literally I snuck behind some bullshit. I watched him walk into the vault, and then I snuck around the wall to the entrance of the vault and just peeked around the corner and blew his fucking head off. And at that point, no, the turrets did not attack me, but the holographic doors did slam shut. But I still had the maintenance entrance, and I had to do like a run through like a little maze to get back to the elevator. And I did just fucking barely make it.
Oh, that's interesting.
I did. It seemed, like I said, it seemed like you had the option to like leave him in the vault, which I felt like was like poetic justice. And like I was tempted to do that. But I did tell Christine and myself that I was just going to murder this man. So my final decision was to shoot his head off of his body and then escape.
I mean, you have to be true to yourself.
It was, I'm not going to lie, it was pretty fucking satisfying.
So what I did was I hid around the corner. He came in. He was like, what the alarms, turrets? And he started getting shot at. And the turrets were all blasting him. And then Christine's like, and also the shields went up so I couldn't leave. And then Christine's like, okay, I can disable the shields and I can blow up some of the turrets. She blew up 2 turrets. So then I just I came around the corner, shot Father Elijah as he was looking for me, exploded him in front of the vault. I got an achievement for that. And then I had to quickly run through, and I did die the first time because I dawdled a bit.
Yeah, me too. Well, also, I got mixed up. Like, I was like, where am I supposed to go?
Yeah, you have to quickly run through the maze out. And that's how I solved that one. I felt very good murdering Father Elijah like that. And you get to the exit of the vault.
We shouldn't call it murder. Like, that was a fucking extrajudicial execution. Like, he deserved it. Okay? Like, he talked all this chunker. He talked about, all this DLC. He talked about how he had been using people to do this for years, and he was going to continue to use people to do it after you were dead, and then he was going to fucking run rampant across the desert. Like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Like, this guy deserved it.
I did bring Father Elijah's robes out of the vault, but then it gave you all your items back, and I just didn't have enough space to carry it, so I did dump it outside the entrance. I do want to bring those and put them in Veronica's inventory. He also had a note I found in his office. So you get outside. Oh, well, let's talk about the ending first before I get into that stuff. So we'll talk about the ending.
But let's talk about the ending.
Yeah, once you get out of the
Jim did
casino.
He cheated.
Yeah.
I carried every gold bar out, and then I walked outside and I shot Elijah in his dumb face, and his head exploded. Then I ran out of the casino, and then the DLC ended.
I just want to say, like, what do you think you're going to do with all those gold bars?
Oh, it's
I don't know,
tricky.
because they're still in my inventory.
Nobody has enough caps to pay you for them. I can't
I
sell
sold
my
one.
2 gold bars.
I sold one at the gun runners. They have enough money.
I kind of just want to give them to random people or leave one in a random refrigerator.
Yes, pickpocket
Pickpocketing people, like reverse
Yeah.
pickpocketing.
Yeah, reverse pickpocket. Why do I have a 35-pound gold bar?
Yeah.
Pickpocketing.
Yeet.
Every NPC will be over encumbered by the time Jim's done.
That's a great
They
idea.
starve to death trying to walk
When you
home.
run into enemies, you should run up to them and place pocket a gold bar.
Unload all my gold bars
Yeah.
in their pocket.
His pocket.
With the Old World Blues DLC, there is a vendor that has almost enough caps for 1 gold bar. So you can sell like 1 a week.
And gun runners, they have enough.
Yeah, taking all of the gold bars feels good, but also sort of defeats the whole theme of the game, which is you have to let go and leave the past behind, and you can't take things with you.
So what's the voiceover for your ending? Like, come on! Come on!
Yeah.
What are you doing?
There should have been a still in the background of the narration, which is just like a super over encumbered courier surrounded by gold bars,
Yeah.
trying to crawl his way out of the vault.
In like the Mr. Monopoly suit.
Yeah.
So did you have to retrace your steps to the way you came in to escape the vault, Jim?
Yeah, it took a minute
Yeah.
because you had to go all the way back through where those holograms were.
Mm-hmm.
But I had done that enough times. Like I had gone, I had such a hard time there, like figuring out what the correct route was, that I just had all those things memorized. So I got out of that place.
Did
pretty
the
quick.
game still think you were dead?
Yeah, there were no alarms or anything like that. Yeah. I never, like, after my collar exploded in the casino, I never heard another alarm for the rest of the DLC.
Wow.
Or a
Jim,
radio. They just didn't
Was
play.
your
Such
head
a-
blown off? That's what I want to know. Like, are you going to
No,
spend the rest of the
no,
game
and
as a
you know,
headless corpse?
you know how I noticed that was because after I did that, I expected my head to be gone, but I did a VATS and got a kill cam on my character, and I remember thinking, I really made my character look a lot like me. So that's how I know. That's how I know there's a head on there, is because like I think that character looks a lot like me actually.
Yeah, and you do have a
Take some
head.
screenshots of your
I
head
will, yeah.
body.
I guess if you're invulnerable, the collar just explodes around you.
Jim,
It
I
does,
think
like when
there's-
because it showed a kill cam for the explosion of the collar, and it showed my character like it was like a puff of smoke around my head, and I fell down, and then I just got back up.
There's you may be underestimating or overestimating how stable this game is. I think there's like a 50% chance the ending is going to just die. It's not going to finish the game.
These DLCs crashed so many times, like way more than the main game. They crashed a lot.
All right, let's talk about real quick, the possible endings we got for each character very quickly. Vanessa,
Yeah.
what endings did you get?
God Dog was fine. He didn't remember what happened to him, but he went on his merry way and had a great life. Christine was pretty traumatized by everything that she went through. Here's a question for y'all about Christine. You pick up on the thing with Veronica?
Yes. I assumed she was talking about Veronica when she said, like, there was a girl I really liked, but it just didn't work. And I know Veronica said something about that, too.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I wonder if those two... But you can't ask Veronica about it. There's no option
I
to
know.
ask.
There's no like, hey, guess what? I met Christine and killed Father
Your
Elijah.
X.
Because all the Veronica stuff was written and done before this came out.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
have to rehire Felicia Day and add extra dialogue, and they weren't going to
And
do
at
that.
that point, she was probably already a star. Too expensive. So
I feel like she's
Dean's ending is kind of melancholy, but she also lived, and Dean is dead AF. How about you, Johnny?
Dean went on to explore the Mojave and realized Vegas was still around, so there's plenty of casinos for him to hit up. And so with a twinkle in his eye and a mischievous step, he set out for his next adventure. And Saint Dog is fine, and Christine, she feels okay about having murdered Father Elijah.
Well, I saved
And
all
when
of...
she
Okay.
when she hears about the fight between the two couriers at the divide, she thinks of you and wonders if you were okay.
Yeah.
It says that in this DLC?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that's referring to Lonesome Road. The divide is the setting for Lonesome Road.
Correct.
I thought it was the end of the game. All right, well. I did the same thing. Dean goes to Vegas. I assume it's not going to happen, but I wish that after this, Dean would show up in New Vegas. That would be amazing. Because I will be the queen of New Vegas. So.
I killed Dean and Christine. So I only was able to save Dog by merging his personalities. Is he still called Dog, or is he called God after you combine the personalities? Does his
I think
name
he's
change?
called God. I think he's now called
God?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, saved him.
All right.
And the Sierra Madre continues to sort of stand. I mean, the casino's
I
a
thought
bit
it
rubbled,
crumbled.
but the villas are there, and
It showed it
just-
standing in my ending.
yeah.
So I don't.
I thought it did for me too. Yeah.
I guess the vault collapses, but not
Yeah, the vault
the casino.
collapses.
Yeah.
And so it's still there, covered in toxic clouds and being a monument to broken hearts.
Is it still
Great
calling
DLC.
people?
I don't know if it still calls people or not.
Yeah,
This
very
is
good
like
DLC.
this is like the best kind of DLC where it kind of tells like its own story that's kind of just like makes the main stuff better. You know?
I liked. So afterwards, I went to Father Elijah's room. I found a message that's for Veronica from him, but I didn't know how to play it. It said it needed a sensor to play it. I'll try and figure that out. For
Oh,
next
I
time.
found that too, but I didn't know how to. I didn't know what to do. You need like a sensor module or something.
No, I have a million of those because I found out if you take those and your stim packs, it will auto heal. So I picked
Yes.
up every
Oh,
sensor.
I have some of those. Yeah. There's auto stim packs and auto medics.
And I also took Father Elijah's robes, which I plan on giving to her. Maybe just not tell it. I mean, you can't. There's no option to tell her, hey, these are your dead mentor's robes. But I'll just put them in her inventory. But I'll see if there's a way of playing that message because I want to see what that's all about. There's no option to talk to her about it, so I'm curious how that works. All right. Y'all ready
Yay!
for crazy?
Yeah. Let me just say again how happy I am that you all liked Sierra Madre.
It was
'Cause
good.
I love it.
Yeah, it was real good.
I was frustrated early on with the ghost things, but other than that, like, what a fun twist on this game. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
may have liked this better than the game.
I was unhappy when the ghosts came into the casino and you had to fight them in
Yeah.
there.
There's one point before you head into the vault where they dump like 6 of them in the lobby, and that was obnoxious.
It was a tough fight for me, for sure.
Like, I
I will
managed
say
to
just
like
till
get that sneak attack on 1 or 2, but then after that, it was just me like wasting ammo.
I will say this is the most gimmicky DLC. Like the rest of the DLCs play like the main game. This is the only one that had like a gameplay hook.
I mean, I feel like it still plays like the main game. They just have tanky enemies.
And
Yeah.
radios.
Super tanky.
And radios.
And like way
That's
more
fair.
crafting.
That's true.
yeah, way more.
I
crafting,
did,
hot
as I
plates.
left the Sierra Madre, I did just blow all of my Sierra Madre chips, of which at this point I had fucking thousands on stim packs and super stim packs. So I don't ever need any more of those for the rest of this game.
Hooray!
All right, crazy. Finally,
Johnny, you've been waiting forever to talk about this.
The first
Well,
thing so Crazy is a Black Mountain side quest. And the first thing I did was turn on Black Mountain Radio. Hi, I'm best friend Tabitha. and I'm Cobra Commander, I think.
yeah. Who's the other voice in that?
I think it's fucking Cobra Commander. I'm almost positive.
As Rhonda, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Is she doing the? Because Rhonda's not dead, incapacitated.
Yeah,
Is the other voice
Tabitha's
Rhonda?
doing both voices. If you sneak
Oh.
in, well, Tabitha's broadcasting. She's just doing the whole thing.
Oh, interesting.
What's your favorite Black Mountain Radio segment?
I mean, when they talk about the different kinds of super mutants and are like, well, this kind is just stupid, and we
Yeah.
hate them.
Well, it's sort of giving you background info on Fallout 1, which I thought was fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's
They
a
go
lot
through
of-
the first generation super mutants, which are intelligent, then the sneaky super mutants, which they say are superior, and the dum-dums.
the dum-dums. That's right.
but she has created the great state of Tabitha, and I didn't have the quest from anyone else to do anything here, but I did run into Neil. He's at the bottom of the road up to Black Mountain. He's like, I'll help you because I want to instead move all the super mutants over to Jacobstown instead of having Tabitha's slightly unhinged rule. They'd be a lot safer out in Jacobstown, away from humans.
One thing that Tabitha says over the radio is that humans should not come there because it's dangerous for them, and if they do come, then they have to kill the humans for their own good.
Oh, she's so good. So you go up. There's a few different ways. There's a back entrance you can take, which I forgot about, and I didn't take this time.
It's not like you to forget about the back entrance.
Vanessa. Or you can go up the road, which is full of super mutants, and I did keep getting killed. I got up right up to the town, and then there's just, I think, like a sentry that has super high perception, even when I was sneaking with my La Fantoma on, giving me over 100 stealth. It still didn't work, so I went and looked up where to get a stealth boy. So I went to this brewing company, which had been the brewer had been killed by Cazadors, and I found that there's a stealth boy in the hidden Cazador nest, like a little up the hill behind that place. I recommend going there. It's called like Mutually Assured Beer Struction or something. It was some kind of fun beer name.
I solved that one by climbing up some sort of dome structure and sniping the mutant with super high perception. It was great.
I didn't want to hurt anyone, so I talked to Neil.
Killed with the super mutants that were attacking me. I murdered.
Oh, but apparently you can call Tabitha from that dome. I did not.
Oh.
Tell me about that, Vanessa.
Yeah, you can call her on the radio and she'll be like, "Who is this?" And you can either insult her, in which case she'll send a bunch of super mutants sort of rushing down to the dome, or you can say, "Sorry, it's a dum-dum," and she'll be like, "Dum-dum, stop using the radio."
That's amazing.
Or I think that you can also say that there's intruders like at the entrance to Black Mountain, and then that will relocate some super mutants to a different place.
Oh, well, I what I did was I turned on my stealth boy, snuck up the last part of the mountain, and found Neil. And Neil's like, "Okay, I'll distract the Nightkin that are guarding Tabitha." So he brings those away, and then with the stealth boy, I was able to sneak into the supply room, where I did find a broken robot, and I fixed that robot, and it was a Mr. Gutsy named Rhonda, who's like, "I must find Tabitha
Mrs.
immediately." Mrs. Gutsy. I must find Tabitha immediately, and she's so happy you fixed her robot. She doesn't do anything mean, and it's just like, okay, we're going to get out of here. Real Rhonda is back, and real Rhonda is her conscience. Like, fake Rhonda that's in her head does tell her to do bad things, but real Rhonda helps her be more understanding. And let's just talk about her looks, because I was just thinking about what a great podcaster best friend Tabitha would be, and she's got a real like Jojo Siwa kind of look with like really cute hair, a nice
Jojo
bows.
Siwa. All right,
Yeah,
fucking relax.
Is Jojo Siwa a dated reference now?
Yeah. She doesn't even
I
think
don't
so.
know what dated
She
references
doesn't-
are, because
I
as you
think
know,
Jojo
I tried
Siwa's
to
still relevant, and also just
I tried
came
to
out with it.
impress
she's not
Jim's
doing the
daughter by
bows,
talking
though.
about the Sprouse twins, and she didn't know who they were.
John, did you see that great joke I made in the group chat yesterday where Vanessa was like, "Are the Sprouse twins a dated reference?" And I sent a picture of Kevin Bacon now, and I was like, "This is Dylan Sprouse. Do you feel old yet?"
I didn't see. I don't know who the Sprouse twins are.
It's because
Oh, they were the
too old
Those are
to
kids
know
from
who they
Riverdale.
are. Yeah.
They're the Riverdale kids
okay.
who are like Disney Channel kids.
Are they Drake and Josh?
Yes.
No, they're a little bit. They're younger than Drake. And
Oh
Josh.
no, they're Zach and Cody, right?
They're Zach and Cody. Yeah.
Okay.
No. It's Drake and Josh.
Rihanna.
I think my favorite accessory on Best Friend Tabitha is the heart-shaped sunglasses. One has a
Yeah.
lens, one does not. But it's just a perfect outfit. I
Really,
think
not the
she
wig,
looks-
not the blonde bob.
Wig?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
she's got beautiful hair.
Okay.
Jojo Siwa looks. She doesn't have the jean jacket.
Okay.
Embroidered jean.
Why are
Jojo Siwa.
Why are we ragging on JoJo Siwa?
I'm
here?
saying the fashion. I'm not saying she looks like Jojo Siwa.
I
who's
didn't know
a
Matt was
perfectly
such a JoJo
normal-
Siwa stan.
Yeah.
Normal looking girl. There's
Don't you
nothing
talk
wrong
about
with Jojo
JoJo like
Siwa.
that.
Don't talk shit on JoJo.
How
The weirdest
dare
part about
you?
This conversation is Vanessa being like, "Yes, this misogyny is fine."
I'm not being
misogynistic to
I'm
talk
No,
about
saying-
Jojo
JoJo
Siwa.
Siwa had a very distinct look. That's what John was saying.
Yeah, she's blonde and she always wears a scrunchie.
and a big
And a
bow.
bow. Yeah.
Was it a bow? I thought it was a
Yeah,
scrunchie.
with big bows.
It was a bow,
She doesn't
big
wear
bow.
that anymore. She's an adult now and does not dress like she's on the Disney Channel.
She's like a Gen Z queer icon, kind
Yeah,
of.
she's great.
Yeah, she came. Yeah.
Anyway, so I was just thinking that I think Best Friend Tabitha should go on to podcasting because I think she's got a real big. She's got that kind of e-girl look that I think is real popular right now, and I just think that maybe Twitch streamer. She could be a good Twitch streamer too.
Yeah. And her and Rhonda, they got a great thing going. Her
But I
plan,
want to try a few different things. But you go ahead first.
her plan now that she's reunited with Rhonda is just to kind of wander the desert. She doesn't seem to have any particular direction. But Rhonda's like, we should get going back on our journey. And she's like, okay.
So she has taken over. The reason that Neil wants to get rid of her is that she's got this radio signal going out that is luring all the super mutants there, and she's sort of unstable and not giving them a good spot to grow and thrive, so he wants to get them over to Jacobstown. I did try opening her door, but I wasn't sneaking, so she did attack me, so I didn't do that.
Oh, no.
What happens if you sneak in there?
If you sneak in there, you can just hear her doing her radio show, as I recall. I didn't do that this time, so this is a deep memory, but I think it's accurate.
And then there's, I guess I never found him the first time, there's RAUL.
Yes,
Never
Raoul
opened
the
that
Ghoul.
door. So RAUL the Ghoul. Jim, why don't you tell us about RAUL? Who's RAUL?
I don't know about Raoul the Ghoul. This is not how my quest played out.
You didn't
Oh,
fucking
Jim, how
rescue
did-
Raul?
How did I didn't the first time. I didn't open that door.
Monsters.
How did your quest play out?
My quest is very abrupt here. So like I knew where Black Mountain was because I have a perk that lets me see all the markers on the map even if I can't fast travel to them. So I knew where Black Mountain was, so I started walking towards it, and I was walking towards it like I was walking to the east. So there's no entrance there. I just kind of worked my way up the hill and went into her camp, killed some super mutants. Had no idea what I was supposed to do. No quest triggered. Nobody came to talk to me. Didn't know what I was supposed to do. So I made my way into the storage shed, found the robot, and I had high enough repair to fix the robot. And as soon as you fix the robot and then walk outside, Tabitha just appears.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, thanks for fixing my robot. See you later. And I was like, what's going on? And so I was like, I didn't get to experience any of the Tabitha stuff, so I wonder what's going to happen if I kill her. So I I used my VATS and I blew her head off.
Jim!
And what's really funny about it, if you do that, like maybe it's a bug, it's just if you do it right there, but none of the other super mutants, and there's probably 6 or 7 of them around her, None of them aggro, and all of them keep talking to her, including the robot. Keep talking to her like she's still alive, which is pretty grim but pretty funny in the game.
Yeah, that's morbid.
Yeah, and there's nothing really of value on her except for her room key. That's
Which she just gives to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matthew, tell me about Raul.
Well, it's a whole thing. So Raul, I mean, it's a companion quest, you know? I mean, at this point, you can unlock his door, and he will join you if you don't have another companion, or if you release your companion. He's basically a hostage. Because he can fix things.
Yeah.
And nobody
He's
else
an
can.
old man.
Yeah, he's a real Dean Domino, you know?
All
nicer.
of the ghouls are from before the war. So he is pre-war. He is a citizen of Mexico. But I think by the time the bombs dropped, the U.S. had annexed Mexico.
I think well, I don't know.
He saw the bombs drop.
I think
you talked to him about it. He saw them from Mexico City.
Yeah,
he
you're
saw
right.
the house shield, and that's why he came to Vegas.
Yep. And he made his way to Black Mountain, and they basically kidnapped him and forced him to be their repair guy.
And he wears a jumpsuit that says Miguel on it, but that is not his name.
I haven't done any of his side quests and stuff, but I'm interested in this character because I didn't find him like Jim. I didn't find him the first time.
He doesn't
You can still rescue him, Jim.
He doesn't have a deep side. He doesn't have a deep companion quest. It's a shorty. It's you talk to him a bit.
I found his shack.
Yeah, if you know how when you release companions, you can tell them to go to the lucky whatever
38.
If you don't do that, he'll go back to his shack, and he does have I think one of the highest repair skills in the game. But he does still charge you full price for everything. So,
oh wow!
If you don't have thousands of bottle caps, it's not going to do you a lot of good.
And
right.
I guess we could talk about his companion quest. Oh, that's pretty late.
You learn a lot about him. He tells he and his sister, I think, survived the blasts, and then they were rich. They lived at a family ranch, and they tried to help people, but they hit the point where the resources couldn't last, and they started turning people away. And unfortunately, the people they turned away came back and raided the place. Then he goes and he and his sister move into somewhere else. He adopts the persona of a gunslinger.
A vaquero.
And that does him well
Just
for
Spanish for cowboy.
while. But eventually it backfires and his sister gets murdered by some people looking for him. And then after that, he spends a lot of time wandering the desert and kind of slowly makes his way towards Arizona and lives under Caesar's rule for a while. Somewhere in there, he picks up the jumpsuit that says Miguel. He decides to stop being Vaquero and just start being basically a nobody. And he does learn repair at that point. He slowly learns, something other than gunslinging. And then I don't remember why. Vanessa, why does he leave Arizona? He's one of the
Arizona.
He's the only companion that kind of likes Caesar. He doesn't like Caesar, but he likes the stability that Caesar brings to that region. And I don't remember why he leaves.
I don't remember why he left either, but I know that he heard the Black Mountain transmission and thought it might be a safe place for him to be. because it was away from humans who he had issues with. And then,
it seems like all the ghouls do.
yeah, his companion quest involves just bringing him around to talk to different old people who are still contributing to their community in some way.
Oh, yeah, because I did mention that there's old people still doing stuff. And he's like, yeah, show me one.
Yeah, so if you bring him to particular people
Official.
and talk to them about their histories, then he'll sort of have a few different dialogue options, and you can nudge him towards continuing his retirement or taking up the gun again and becoming a gunslinger. It's really up to you.
I convinced him to focus on repairing things. I told him, like, it's weird because I didn't want to, like, insult him or, like, be an asshole. But at the same time, I was like, you don't need to go back to your murdering ways. I know that you can convince him to become a gunslinger again and that he's a good companion if you do, but I just didn't feel like Vanessa 3 is not going to do that. Vanessa 3 was like, well, the right thing to do is to focus on your good skills of helping people.
Well, Vanessa 1 did do that because if you do, he gets an amazing outfit upgrade.
He gets an outfit upgrade either way.
Oh, but is it an amazing outfit upgrade?
Tell me about I want to hear about his amazing upgraded outfit.
He's in a vaquero outfit, so he has like leather chaps and a leather jacket, a red scarf, and a big sombrero-style cowboy hat with like a feather in it. He is very dashing and multiple belts. He looks like he could be in
like
KOTOR, actually. Mm-hmm. Or Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't mentioned his pencil-thin black mustache, but he does have one.
Mm-hmm.
How do you
And
have a
that's
mustache when you're a ghoul and your skin is just rotting and falling off of your body.
Yeah, I think in
You know
Fallout
the way the-
3, there's a dialogue that suggests that it is painful for the ghouls, which does not sound like a good
To
existence.
have a mustache?
No, to have their skin falling off their body.
Oh, I thought you meant like to grow hair. It's painful for them. That's why they don't have any.
There is this. You can look this up. There's a clip of a lady who's like, "Oh yeah, I got a nose job to look just like this other lady's nose. Like I had a cast made of her nose, so I thought I liked it so much, but it's a fake nose." And she's like, "Yeah, see," and she takes it off, and she looks just like a ghoul. Oh, what a nightmare!
Oh.
What a nightmare!
Ew.
Anyway, well, that's it, right? We're done.
Yeah.
Are we done?
That's it for the chunker.
What's that?
Yeah.
What happens next time?
Well, next time, we were just going to play Lonesome Road, but somebody, Matt, cough, Matt.
Matt Kaufman?
Somebody decided that we should all play Old World Blues as well.
Is that the one with the sex computer?
I feel like I didn't decide that.
It's not a
depends on
sex
how you look at
computer. Yes, it is the one with the crazy computers and the great biological whatever machine that is programmed only to make sexual innuendo, which is amazing.
Yeah. Well, let's all play that, but also let's all do the same thing because I have to edit next week, so it's going to be a 2-hour chunker if I have to cut you assholes off or not. So that's what it is.
Okie dokie. I think that Lonesome Road is about 4 hours, and Old World Blues can be 6. So plan your time accordingly.
It can be 6. You can, if you're only doing the main stuff, you can probably get through it in 3.
Yeah, I think so.
If you don't go for all the other tech and side quest stuff, you can probably get through the main stuff in 3.
Yeah.
I think a lot. I think
you're right.
I'll spend Sunday night working on it then.
Well, Johnny, what are you squarely against, buddy?
I'm squarely against that fight before you get to the vault. As Matthew said, the ghosts are tanky. I died a bunch of times. They keep throwing gas things at me. I had to hide in a side room and line it full of mines. That's the only way I got through it. What about you, Matthew?
Oh, I'm roundly for murdering Elijah. That was satisfying. You know? Felt good. I liked sneaking around him and then him being all shocked. And then on top of that, which was fun, then I also got to blow his head off his body, which I don't have that perk that makes bodies explode more because I don't. Who needs it?
Mess.
Yeah, I don't need it. But in this one case, I was very happy that I decapitated that man with a bullet. It was good stuff. What about you, Vanessa?
I'm squarely against the number of radios that you have to deal with in the vault, especially.
So many.
They were really difficult to see, really difficult to deal with, and my head did blow up many, many times. Johnny, what do you squarely
Johnny
against?
already went.
Jimmy, what do you squarely
It's
against?
Jim's turn. Let's see. I'm roundly for the satisfaction I felt when I murdered Dean. Dean is a piece of trash.
Yes.
He does not deserve to live. It felt good to kill him.
Wow. You guys are dark.
He's not real.
He's not a real boy.
Yeah, he's a ghoul. Ghouls aren't real people.
Hey, Johnny. I'll give you $1 if you tell me about the Patreon.
All right.
Hey,
Well,
mention the vote that should be over by now, but isn't because.
But probably.
well, it
isn't.
should be
It
over,
will be over
by the time the
this airs.
episode.
Yeah, we'll be over by the time this airs, but isn't over yet.
It's just going to be tie after tie.
There's going to be a winner. Right now, if you look at the Patreon, boop update, Final Fantasy IV is in the lead with Final Fantasy V a few votes behind, which is a more comfortable position than when it was neck and neck. Because the first vote we ran ended in a tie.
Oh, 4 is still ahead. All
Only
right.
2 fucking options, and you still tied.
Maybe
Jesus
that's the
Christ.
problem. There's too few
Oh,
options.
no, I hit a button.
You should have added 13 in there just for help, you know.
But
the
we've
heck of it.
tied. We tie every time, so
That's true.
Yeah. Next time, have the 2 options that you want, and then put John F. Kennedy Jr. in there as well.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Right. That was almost a good joke.
But it wasn't.
Q?
So, for the Patreon, we have 2 tiers. We have the $5 a month tier.
One
where
from the
you
right
get to
eye
vote.
and one from the left eye.
For the $3 a month tier, but you also get access at $3 a month. You get access to every single bonus episode we ever do. At $5, you get that plus being able to vote. So it's pretty rad. But no matter what you give to support the show, we like to thank you a chunk of listeners at a time. Patreon.com/Square Roots Podcast.
Never heard of it.
Listeners like Double Penetration
Listeners,
2099, Trey, Tom, Fwesh Eyes, Megan Sullivan, Hey, it's me, Emma Ian Frederick, Chris Penyak, Jaybird, Anthony Lima, Sean Gonzalez, and Zachary Bullet Ant Harpinson.
I would like to thank Anthony Lerma, because that's how it's fucking spelled. Wash in the Wind, Chris Sasaki, welcome to Cute Boy Jail, Hong Kong. Best friend Vanessa's mom. Best friend Vanessa's mom. Gigantified Micro Space Hamster, T. Balders, I hardly knew her, Bumpkins. Butts on Parade, Hudson Roth, Alex Jokic, Johnny Five Alive, Tyler Crump, and Omen Ran.
And I would like to thank Loafing Around, Gage La Charité, Florian Jonas Kramer, Benjamin Hilberg, Wishbone is Gay, Arthur A., Lexivarial, Rubber Bear, Sergeant Spaghetti, Ross Hartley, Brian Pitt, and Joshua W. Broxton.
I was just thinking about what if we did a Short Circuit 2 commentary.
Oh, I would love that. You know what? There was a bar in Fort Worth. This was a few weeks ago that had the last like fully working replica of Johnny Five that they had for like one night. And I commented and I was like, I want to go, but will he kick my balls into outer space? and they commented back and said, only if you don't act right. Which I thought was pretty great. Sorry, go ahead.
Chris, Daniel Wood, Tracy the Board Queen, Tracy with an I, Andy Smith, Huxley Iguana, Cyril the Wolf. Seattle Sounders will host Club World Cup in 2025. Friend of DeSoto, Aaron O'Toole, Stephen Paget. The Avatar game is going to be good. Jesse's Mom's Pizza, Sean Walsh, and Chris Person.
All right, everyone. That's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to have an email read on the air, you can email us at squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come see us at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast Group for smart, cool, very attractive people, or find us on Blue Sky at squarerootspod.bsky.social.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Ghana, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find Stephen on Twitter as BeigeOnBeige and on YouTube. Links in the show notes. I did give him a Blue Sky code, so I'll have to get links to his Blue Sky as well.
Oh, he's following the Square Roots Blue Sky. I just noticed that today.
All right, for Square Roots, I am Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Van Zant.
I'm Johnny Brandon. I'm Johnny Brandon.
And I'm Vanessa. Hi. I turned into a pumpkin after midnight.
Bye.